Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon, welcome to Modern Escapism. That's right, listeners. We are indeed not in Kansas anymore because for the first time ever, we're together in the same room.
Woo! And we're naked. No, we're not.
Almost all of us.
Oops.
We told you had to bring pants to this.
Almost all of us, because unfortunately, that thing that shall not be named decided to rear its ugly head this week, of all weeks, and poor Oodles has had to stay behind at home. But if it wasn't for that bastard virus, you better believe he'd have crawled through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness to be here. But for now, Zoom will have to do. So, hello, Oodles.
Hello, I feel like a special guest.
I mean, we all know you're special.
Yeah,
Oodles is our special guest for the
reason
podcast.
I'm not hosting is because I'm going to be quite quiet on this episode because I can't talk for long without slowly dying. So, yeah, I'm here, but I'm not there.
Yeah, it's pretty gutting, to be honest. But we power on, and also joining me is a man who just wanted to go out to the coast, get together and have a few laughs, but ended up having to throw Alan Rickman off a skyscraper. It's Biggie.
Hey.
Next up is a woman who, despite holding a position of great importance, still takes the time out of her schedule to sport her new golden bikini. It's Candy.
Hello.
And finally, it's a man who, despite his lovable nature, will not think twice about leaving a horse head in your bed if you cause him an editing nightmare. It's Gadget.
Oh, you're all going to suffer for this weekend.
Yeah, this one is going to be fun. We have a room full of people, Oodles at his house, and a constant echo of myself in my ear. That's not off-putting at all. But anyway, before we crack on, I will go through the Patreon stuff and try to sell you some of our lovely wares. Anyway, if you head over to patreon.com/modern escapism, you'll find our Patreon, and on there you'll see all the extras stuff that we do. For £5 a month, Modern Escapees, that will get you an extended edition of this episode every week, as well as at least one monthly special and any other specials we do. If you are into Dungeons and Dragons podcasts, we do an actual play podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep? And for £5 a month, you can get ad-free early access of those podcasts, as well as any artwork, music, character sheets, maps, and anything we put together for the show, as well as the ability to suggest NPCs and items for Gadget to use in the campaign. But for £7.50, the Biggie Bundle, that gets you everything.
Everything.
And if you are a backer of the Biggie Bundle or Scorched Sheep, you'll have had I can't deal with this at the moment. You'll have had our excellent Treble Went Down to Fix a song that Gadget put together for our latest episode, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was so good.
And I love that it caught you all by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
It could be
because
Christmas
Oodles and
number
I
one.
sat for ages kind of working through that, trying to get the tone right, get the sound right, and obviously Pip was a massive influence on the lyrics as well. And there is the Zoom video. I may put it out on YouTube at some point, but if you watch Candy's face when that song is playing, it's hysterical because she looks so happy with herself.
And mention the artwork.
Oh yeah, and the artwork is fantastic that Candy did for us.
Oh, thank you very much.
If you hop over to our Twitter account or into the Dice and Dragons room in the Discord, you can see it, and it's marvellous.
Right. So now that we've done the corporate shilling, we're going to get on to what we've done this week. And we're going to start with you, Biggie. What have you got up to this week?
Absolutely fuck all, apart from finishing The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which I completed last night, about midnight. Yay. I have thoughts. I don't know whether to go into them in here or save it for something else. I'm banting around the idea of doing maybe a spoiler cast.
Ooh.
For part 1 and 2, just discuss the series as a whole. You've finished both, haven't you?
I
Oodles?
have, and Oodles has.
Mike knows... Oh, I don't know why I said Mike. Gadget knows...
Oh, just because you're all in the same room together.
First name terms now.
I've been first named, I'm in trouble.
you know the ending, you know how it ends,
Yeah, I
don't
know
you?
how it ends, yeah.
And Candy, you're not sure if you're going to play it or not.
I don't mind if I get it spoiled, to be quite honest. Because I
depressing.
feel like if I was going to carry on with it, I probably would have done by now.
But yeah, I have thoughts about the game, but I won't go into it today, I don't think.
It's a good series to do a little overarching podcast over, to be honest. A bit late, but why not?
Yeah, I just think, just as like a discussion piece, talking about that, maybe if we have a guest, maybe come on. I have an idea for someone to come on.
Yeah.
And talk about the series as a whole and thoughts about the plot, the ideas, etc. And I mean, overall, it's a great game. It's incredible. I spoke quite a bit about it last week, so I don't want to go too much into it. It certainly ended in a way I wasn't expecting. But yeah, brilliant. Really great work by Naughty Dog. Interesting to see if they do a third one. That isn't really giving anything away. I just wonder if they're going to do more with that world. But yeah, that's about it. And apart from a 3-4 hour journey down to here.
Yeah, I don't want another one, personally.
Same.
I think it's leave it as it is. Do something new.
Yeah.
Give us some new characters. Give us a new world.
Would you play a game of The Last of Us with different characters in the same world? Like, do you think there's more stories to tell in that world?
I'd play
They've
it
covered quite a lot with 1 and 2, haven't they?
I'd play it in a different country. I want to see what the rest of the world's getting up to.
That's true.
Yeah, they are actually rebooting it as well, aren't they? The original one.
What?
Yeah, they're rebooting the game.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Why?
Yeah.
Money.
We've got a TV series coming as well.
I think that's probably
They're just
why.
doing
I think it's to kind of put
like
it
a
in.
HD remake, aren't there?
I think it's from the ground up. Like,
yeah, but like a remake, it's not like going to be a
Yeah,
new
it's not
story.
rebooting.
It's just going to look better.
I heard it was an actual reboot.
oh,
Fuck that. Right, you've got 2 big series, Uncharted and The Last of Us, and Crash Bandicoot, I guess, but no one likes Crash.
Let's not forget Jack and Daxter. They're in there.
Yeah. But yeah, let's have something new, Naughty Dog.
Disrespect.
Gadget brought up a good point pre-pod about the atmosphere of the game and the climate that we find ourselves in at the moment. And it is a bleak game to play.
That was, I mean, that was my issue with it. That's why I kind of fell off it. Not because I think it was a bad game in any way or they would do it telling a bad story, but it came out September last year, and that was just as we were kind of like approaching the second lockdown.
yeah.
And it was just so depressing. I get it's a depressing game and it's a sad subject, and that's all fine. That's like the art that they want to say, but just like at that time for me, it was just like I can't do this.
I wonder if that's actually why I dropped off it, because I had my reason for dropping off, and it wasn't to do with the state of affairs of the world. But actually, I wonder if it had more of an effect on me because of that.
There was a delay in releasing it at first, wasn't there? Because
It
of
was
that.
supposed to be like May, I think, or June or something like that. But yeah, they did push it back to like September.
It had the opposite effect for me, where I felt like the world around us wasn't half as bad as the world in that game. So
This is very true.
it made me feel a lot better.
Did it give you the modern escapism you needed?
Yeah, I was like, right, I will be able to tackle whatever's happening outside due to that game giving me the chops to be able to do it.
I'm more frustrated with clickbait than clickers.
Jeez.
Yeah, Biggie has to click on stuff. We all know what happens then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's it for me. I just think maybe we'll see. I don't want to go into spoilers because the game is still out there for people to play. So maybe we can do a separate chat about it. We'll discuss off pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is really it for me.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those games where you just don't discuss it. Spoilers, unless someone's played it. It's not really fair. Unless someone says I'm not bothered, it's fine. But on a public podcast like ours, I would never dream of discussing spoilers on it, even if it was like 5 years down the line. So yeah, maybe we will do one like that. Would be nice to do, actually. Right, so Candy, what about you? What have you been up to?
I also haven't been up to that much due to the way that we're recording. I know, but what I did do, seeing as I had a 5-hour journey today, I finally started the Silo Saga, the first book that was
Oh, way.
I've actually had it since you recommended it, and I've had it on audiobook, but every time I've gone to play it, I've fallen asleep, and that's no slight against the book at all.
Hugh Howie is crying right now.
I just tend to listen at night time, and I finally got the chance to listen to it properly today, and I got a good, probably about 6 hours in now, and it's just starting to kind of spice up. And without going into spoilers, it's kind of at the point where not everything is what it seems.
Oh, so you're actually a good way into it. So you're like well into Jules' story, yeah?
Oh yeah, way into it. Yeah, so she's been. How do I say this without spoiling it? So she's had a position in the top few layers, and now she's gone back down.
Oh yeah. I know where you are.
Yeah, so yeah, really, really enjoying that. I wish I had started it sooner, but I just haven't had the chance. So hopefully I'll finish it on the way home. Also, I'm going to start talking about Skyrim again, I'm afraid.
No!
I know. I'm going to talk about it the same amount of times that they released the game.
God, we'll be here forever.
Infinitely.
But every single podcast we do from now on is Skyrim based. But yeah, no, they had a live concert, which I spoke about last week, and it was to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. And it was a really nice, it wasn't sort of braggadocious from Bethesda's point of view. It was more of a celebration of the fans. So that was really nice to watch. They had the actual fans on there telling their stories and how Skyrim affected them, and where it's people that have met from playing the game and subsequently got married, or people that it's been a turning point in their life. So it was really cute. It did get a little bit sentimental at one point, but what was nice, so that there was a little surprise at the end, and that was the soundtrack to Starfield, which is the next big Bethesda IP coming out. So that was really nice. That was a good 10 minutes of the music from that game. So it was really exciting to listen to. But I just have to kind of manage my excitement, because there's a whole year before it actually comes out, and I just can't maintain the same level of excitement for the whole year.
No. You've got to reserve that level of hype for the next version of Skyrim to come out.
Oh, absolutely. And we've got at least 3 more versions before next year. So
2 released this week, didn't they? 2 different versions.
I like to think Todd Howard came on stage and went, Skyrim moved me to a bigger house,
a castle.
But yeah, that's it for me really this week. I mean, I can talk about things that I've spoken about before. Of carrying on with Death Stranding, and I'm right at the end. I've only got a couple of hours left, and I just haven't, because I know the last couple of scenes are a good few hours long, and I just need that time to sit down and properly watch it.
And don't forget, there is more after the original ending, like I told you last time.
Do you know what? I haven't actually done any of the new content either. I haven't used any of the new
features. You just mainlined this despite the extra content.
The new content's incredible.
Well, I wanted to experience the story again, but
you can do it after.
Yeah, exactly. So
I love the fact that Hideo Kojima's put out all this new content, and Joe's just like, mainline
it. I don't want new content. I want the old content, but better.
Mainline Candy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back into it, but I just want to finish the end of the story. I hadn't intended to play it at all. I wanted to play Deathloop, but I wanted to see what it looked like on the PS5. And I haven't gone back.
Excellent. So, what about you, our fallen brother, Hoodles? What have you got up to?
I've been doing loads of stuff because I've been stuck in my bedroom.
But you can't talk about that on the pod.
No.
How is that facture porn?
I can't do that stuff. It gets me out of breath.
And another feeling, mate, with my sternum.
Yeah, breath is kind of what I'm lacking at the moment. So, I watched 2 movies. One, Shang-Chi, really solid movie. Didn't break the mold for me.
Mid-range, isn't it?
What? Sorry?
Mid-range.
Mid-range, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Phase 1 Marvel film, a decent Phase 1 Marvel film, but just there's something. It's the end. The end. I just think it's a bit. I like the beginning bits, San Francisco, and then is it Kowloon to go to? I like those bits. Yeah. I like the more martial arts, the Jackie Chan inspired bits. You can tell, you can see that Jackie Chan, his team, the bit on the bus is exceptional.
Yeah, those are the bits I like. The bit on the bus, the bit on the scaffolding, that kind of more grounded stuff.
Yeah,
I enjoy a lot more. And I've said this before, but as a Marvel apologist, the big CGI fight at the end just felt cold.
It's crap.
Yeah,
it's just crap.
It doesn't do anything exciting or new.
And then the link to the actual MCU is fine. I knew that's what the link would be because I know the books. I knew what the Ten Rings represent and stuff. There's some surprise characters in there that I was like, oh wow. That's always nice. I'll not spoil that. But yeah, it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. Same with Black Widow. It was just there. It's just a nice little romp. A film I did watch today called, it's so generic a name, I forgot it. Red Notice, I think it's called.
Oh, I've heard this is
great. Starring everyone's man crush Ryan Reynolds and everyone's other man crush Dwayne Johnson and everyone's just crush Gal Gadot. This film
sucks.
It is a no. It's got some gold in there.
Ooh,
it has got some gold.
I've heard no but bad things about this.
Oh, it's not good, mate. But it's got some gold in there. I was trying to bury the lead a little bit. You can tell they're trying to build this new espionage franchise. This. Ocean's 11 meets Fast and Furious. If you don't like Fast and Furious, you won't like this film.
Well, Biggie, wear out.
Because it is basically a Fast and Furious film. Through and through.
We need another one of those.
But that's what it is. It's got those jokes where they need to be. For fans of Fast and Furious, I think it's a solid 3 out of 5. But for people that really don't like those franchises, you're not nothing's gonna change your mind. It's like, remember the rate, Ocean's 11, I think Ocean's 11's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11's like, for me, the pinnacle of a heist film.
Yeah, it's absolutely superb.
This is trying to do Ocean's 11 for about half an hour.
Ugh.
Then it does Fast and Furious.
And there's its problem.
And then it does Indiana Jones 4.
Oh, whoa.
No.
Yeah, so basically,
it's
you know how the world loves Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
I think if you do a breakdown of the films he's done a lot more shite than good.
Oh,
he has done some
films.
stinkers.
Have you seen Six Underground?
I was going to say Six Underground. That's awful.
Yeah,
couldn't even finish it.
Deadpool shite.
He's not.
No.
He's not even the best thing in this.
What was that rom-com he did with Sandra Bullock?
Oh,
Deadpool 2.
Just 2 weeks' notice, was it?
Something like that. Yeah, that was god awful.
He's not the best thing in it. I think The Rock's the best thing in this. He's really
the best thing in most things.
He's really enjoying himself. Gal Gadot could have been anyone.
What, specifically Gal Gadot could have been anyone? Anyone could have played that role.
Anyone could have played that role.
I'll be honest. Okay. I think the only part she's ever nailed is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Every other thing I've seen her in, she's not great.
So are you telling me that like her life's work has not kind of revolved around playing Giselle in Fast and Furious?
Thank you.
She's basically the same character as Fast and Furious in this. So yeah, it's good. It's on Netflix. It's free to. No one pays for Netflix, I don't think. Anyway, everyone uses
it from you, Oodles.
Yeah, I thought
everyone
so.
in the world.
I thought so. And it's fine. Everyone's stunning in it. It looks good. It's just it is. If the best way to describe it is the closest film to this for my money is Indiana Jones 4. That's what it felt like.
Oh God,
Jesus!
That's not a comparison any filmmaker wants.
Yeah, I know.
Is there a fridge involved?
Yeah.
Is there aliens involved?
No.
So it's purely on the fridge based.
I'll have you know, there's no aliens in Indiana Jones 4. They're interdimensional beings. You do know this, don't you?
Is there any Ray Winston in Red Notice?
Say that again, sorry.
Any Ray Winston?
No. There's a worse character than Ray Winston in this.
What's it? Jonesy!
Well, all I'm saying is he's supposed to be a Spanish Viscount. You'll see. They brought Sean Connery back out of permanent retirement. That would have made the film better. It's fine. It's a romp. Shang-Chi is a way better 3 out of 5 than that 3 out of 5. But they both got shit endings.
Have you reached the point of multiple 3 out of 5s?
Yeah, but there's different categories of 3 out of 5s, isn't there? Like a Marvel 3 out of 5 is a normal film's 4 out of 5.
Right, okay.
Because it's just a Marvel film.
Can you list this down for us so we know what the fuck you're talking about at any given
I know what he's talking about.
Yes, but you exist in the letterboxed matrix.
But yeah, it's fine. Watch it. Like I say, it's sexy, and you can't beat a bit of sexy, can you really? It's.
I think, was it the Empire review I read that they mentioned the special effects all look exactly that. It's like it's filmed in a studio.
Oh
all
God,
the locations
there's a
look
bit
really
at
fake.
There's a bit at the end where they're supposed to be on a beach, and I'm like, that looks like local swimming baths. That.
Was there a swimming gala going?
Yeah, I was like, wow, and this tries to be a deep twist, but I saw the twist at the beginning, and if I can see a twist in the film, you all can see a twist in the film. Trust me.
Ooh.
But you know how heist twists do it. Ooh, spies and heist. But yeah, it's fine. Red Notice. The film's so average. It's got an average name and an average score.
It does sound like beige wallpaper.
I think it's Netflix's most expensive film.
Really?
Is it?
Jeez.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Even more expensive than the Ridiculous Six, which was supposed to have an obscene budget.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is
I
biggest one.
I think I know where the money went on this, because there's a really good, get ready for it, car chase. But without
is there lots of downshifting involved and like sweating?
Oh yeah.
But without cars.
Mm.
You'll see.
Car chase without cars.
Yeah, it's basically humans being cars.
Some red turtles in it.
Yeah, humans being cars.
Banana skins.
Humans being cut. Fuck me.
So basically, it's a chase, but it's like choreographed like a car chase, but it's on foot.
So there's a foot race in it.
What are they doing? Shifting trainers or something?
You'll know
So
exactly.
someone's running away.
You'll know
You
exactly
really are
which
real.
bit I mean. You know exactly which bit I mean. Trust me, and you'll be like, "This is a car chase, but just with people on foot." It's how it's choreographed.
Are they running around
trust
going?
me. More or less, yeah.
Lots of thudunk
you'll
as they
see it.
downshift.
You'll see it. You'll see it. But yeah, I've been playing some games and stuff, but some I'm not allowed to talk about. Others I don't want to talk about.
Oh dear.
So yeah, that's my way. Also, yeah, I'm dying.
Let's see.
Rip.
Yeah.
You did watch The Harder They Fall, though, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you like that?
Oh, yeah.
Good,
that
isn't it?
was not
really
a
good. Everyone
letdown.
should watch that.
That is
Really?
that is a slick ass film.
I did like that screenshot that you posted with the train car with C.A. Bozeman written on the
Yes,
side
I
of it.
forgot to mention that last week. There's a nice little
There's loads of little
tribute to
Easter eggs
Chadwick
like that.
Boseman in there.
That is a great film that would make. As I'm watching it, I'm like, this is the most graphic novel film I've ever seen.
Oh wow.
Should be a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch that instead. Ignore everything I've told you and watch that instead.
We will.
And we normally do.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Oodles. On to you, Gadget. What have you been up to?
So a couple of things. I got sufficiently pissed off with Tortured Souls to give up on it.
Tormented Souls.
Tormented Souls, that's it.
I tried to warn you.
Yeah. I was enjoying it up to a point, and I just... There's a point in the game where you meet like a kind of nemesis kind of creature, like an unkillable chaser kind of creature.
Stalker.
Which I'm fine with. And I enjoy that in horror games. Like, I love Mr. X, I love Nemesis, I love all this kind of shit. And Pyramid Head, all these kind of things. The problem is with this bastard, he has no predictable behavior in that you won't see him for a little while. You'll be kind of going around doing out puzzles, and you'll walk into a room and you'll hear his music, and he will usually appear in a bit of a narrow walkway where you can't avoid him and you will take damage. And he hits fucking hard. You can take like 3 hits from him and then you're dead. The problem is, at that point, the mansion is repopulated with enemies, so you're also taking hits from other things.
And the enemies take a lot to kill, don't
they?
they?
The healing items have repopulated.
Yeah,
this sounds like Dark Souls.
No, it's not.
No, it's fucking worse. At least with Dark Souls, every time you die, you get a full set of healing items.
And swords don't run out of ammo.
And swords don't run out of ammo. And it's at the point where, like...
Mine does.
I enjoyed the kind of nostalgia trip for it. I really did. But it's kept too much of the shit that annoyed me of like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 and stuff like that. Like, what they should have done was take the stuff that is nostalgic, the fixed camera angles, the kind of restricted items, inventory management, that kind of thing. But like put in maybe like a more generous autosave system or a better way to heal yourself or something like that.
The baddies have got too much HP as well.
Yeah, it's at the point now where the nostalgia's worn off and I'm just reminded about how irritating those mechanics are.
Yeah, and you can just play the Evil Within instead.
I could play the Evil Within and have a better experience.
Yeah.
So instead, I played a game that I didn't think I would like, in a genre I know I hate. I played Forza Horizon 5, and I'm fucking loving it!
It's awesome.
It's really good!
It's foursome. Appalling.
Even I wouldn't have gone that far.
I was going to say, Oodles, you're really
I've got
sick.
a yellow card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Forza Horizon, if you haven't heard of it, it's Microsoft's arcade racer, based on the Forza Motorsport brand, but it's just a bit silly. It's all about fast cars, huge jumps, open worlds. This year it's set in Mexico.
Sounds like Fast and Furious.
So it's a Fast and Furious game.
It's Fast and Furious.
Weird that you like it, though.
Yeah, but
it starts as Fast as Furious.
It does.
The opening is a Fast and Furious film.
Yeah, the opening of the game, you're thrown out of the back of a plane with a parachute.
Yeah,
in the car.
Of course you are.
In the car, so you hit the ground at 70 miles an hour immediately.
Is there a safe following behind you as well? A massive fuck off safe. As your parachute.
That you disrespect Fast 5.
Oh, no.
The thing is,
unbelievable.
It's gameplay wise, it's pretty much identical to Forza Horizon 4, which I kind of enjoyed for a little bit, but I kind of fell off early on. This one, I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying barreling around Mexico as fast as I possibly can in a ridiculous supercar. Like, there's nothing realistic about the game. I mean, for starters, in my garage, I've got a fucking mid-90s Escort Cosworth. Sierra Cosworth, rather. I would never have that. Rare as fuck car.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't drive it either.
No.
You're turning into Paul Walker before my eyes.
I was going to say, it's just really, it's completely unrealistic. It is like a Fast and Furious game. Like, I went into photo mode as I was like, went off a jump and was like 100 feet in the air.
That's a great photo that you posted.
The
photo mode is excellent.
I went up the highest mountain just so I could get a picture of the car on the mountain and then a picture of me going down the mountain. And it took me fucking ages because it's really steep, so your car just keeps rolling back down.
Like, there was one of the kind of the Horizon Festival event things where you had to drive into an active volcano.
Oh, wow.
And as you're driving back down the other side, it's like starting to erupt and it's like rumbling and that. It's just like, get down the mountain as fast as you can.
Is there any collateral damage?
No, none of that. But it's really quick. It's got it's what I appreciate in a racing game. It's got a really good impression of speed. Like, you really do feel like you're driving very fast.
So it's not Fast and Furious.
No, it is actually fast. It's the first game I've ever played. Well, maybe since Death Stranding, which feels photorealistic.
Yeah, it does look incredible. And I'm playing
in performance mode as well, so I'm playing it for the 60 frames a second.
It's not even the best
lower resolution.
Yeah, it's not even the best graphics, is it?
No, and it still looks incredible.
Wow.
A lot of people thought Mexico's an odd choice for the game as well, but apparently it's really good.
Mexico's got a really good
choice as well.
It's got a good ecosystem.
I think that's
as
because
Mexico.
You have this inherent bias from American cinema, where Mexico is just a fucking yellow desert.
It's not,
and it's not. Like, one of the opening sections when you're having cars dropped out of a plane is you're in a rally spec Porsche 911 barreling through the jungle, and it's really fun.
People forget that there's snow in Mexico.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's a more cosmopolitan
That's called
country than
cocaine,
American
isn't it?
cinema would make you think.
That's Cuba.
Yeah, there's jungle, there's just normal kind of desert roads. You get sandstorms. Like I said, the mountain I went up, there's snow at the top of that. There's rocky mountains, there's rocky hills, there's all different kinds of terrain. So like obviously when Forza Horizon 4, the novelty was it was in Britain. That was quite fun if you're British. But when you think about it, Britain's pretty bland. We have fields and woods.
It's just green, isn't it? It's just green.
Yeah, and a few hills. But like Mexico has all these different terrains and everything. So it's a bit of an extension of 4, but it's more fun.
I think as well what they've done is they've really refined the mechanics of 4. Like it doesn't really feel much different to 4 to play it. But I think there's a few less irritating things. Like it doesn't take as long to unlock the multiplayer mode. You get a pretty consistent amount of XP and unlocks as you kind of start the game. It's just they've taken away just some of the irritating shit, and given it's on Game Pass as well, it's amazing. Like a game like this, I didn't have to fucking pay anything for apart from me $10 a month. You know,
that's what I felt like with Flight Simulator. I was like, this is one of the most anticipated games of all time, and it's free.
I can't get my head around Game Pass at all. How it works for Microsoft? I know there must be a loss.
Well, no, it's not at a loss because they released the figures, and it's something like since Forza Horizon came out, and with like Halo coming out next month, they've had like something like 9 million new subscribers this year, and they're all paying $10 a month.
I'm not.
Well, you're not, but
because I'm savvy.
Tight is the
tight. I look for the cause.
You're a tight Yorkshireman.
No, Bill Gates will remember this.
I've got a year's worth of Game Pass for half the price.
You keep doing that, Sheila. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Sheila's deals.
So I'm on my mum's laptop, so it says Sheila on my Zoom poodles.
Okay, so the point is, if you take it, they've added 9 million new subscribers. If you assume half of them are paying full price for it, you know that's a ridiculous amount a month that they're bringing in, and it's proving at this point that the Game Pass model does work because this is just new subscribers.
Like I've sold my Xbox, but like the thing that would get me back,
you're probably still paying for Xbox Game Pass.
I'm not. I cancel it straight away. The thing that would get me back is when Game Pass is accumulated more a couple of months more games, and I know that the Series S is fucking. You can get them for £200.
Yeah,
it's fuck all. So I know that down the line, when I get a bit more money, and if we get even loads more Patreon subscribers, I'll just get another. Do you know what I mean?
Sony adamant that it's not sustainable, though.
I don't think Microsoft give a fuck about sustainability. It's Microsoft.
They want people to buy PlayStations, don't they?
I think it's that difference in business models, though, because Sony is a Japanese company. They're interested in the money up front.
Yeah, hard cash, isn't it?
Whereas Microsoft are playing the long game. They want the long-term subscribers. They're like doing like the Netflix model. Whereas like they're trying to put out stuff that's attractive for people to come into the ecosystem.
The best way to look at it is you look at Microsoft and the R&D side of Windows platform and how much they put in for the updates that are free to everyone. They're willing to just put loads of money to something to yield profit way down the line.
Yeah,
they're not scared to do that.
I mean, also if you look at it, like the PlayStation 5 might be more powerful out the gates than the Xbox Series X. But
the Game Pass platform,
Sony's platform is shit.
Yeah,
like the PSN, the PS Now, stuff like that. It's terrible compared to Game Pass.
Yeah, and I don't disagree at all.
I won't be surprised if we see.
That's what Microsoft has put their investment in. Like they trialed it in the last gen because they released that Xbox One S all digital.
Yeah,
and that was their kind of trial run for the Series S.
I just wonder if they'll eventually put up the Game Pass to more.
I think I can see them putting it up at £15 a month, and even then, it's still ridiculous value.
I think I genuinely can see it in the next few years that they're going to release like Game Pass box, which is literally just for Game Pass. Like no, do you know?
Isn't that the Series S?
Yeah, like the Series S, obviously, but a bit more. I don't know. I'm not saying Chromecast dongle style thing, but something along.
Something like that, where like you've got like the subscription on your phone, like for the xCloud.
Yes, and it's just that, and it's for
that.
So
basically doing Stadia right.
Yeah, basically. maybe with a little bit of storage, so you can download one game on it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think my only argument against it would be that, for me, I'm looking at it from my point of view. I don't have enough time to play lots and lots of games.
I never played
so
loads
having
of
the
them.
Game Pass with lots of games being released all the time on there, just
when you know they're there, when you know
they're relying on someone like
and things get deleted
to buy Game Pass, and it just sit there for a few months, and you've not touched it.
Yeah.
So you've not got the money, the value out of it, but Microsoft have got your money.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm fucking guilty of that.
Yes, I have. Until recently, I went a few months without paying anything on Game Pass. I might have paid for this, but
yeah, I went through playing Deathloop, Tormented Souls, like stuff like that, like all this Persona 5, all that stuff on my PlayStation. Didn't even turn on my Xbox. Still paying for Game Pass.
Oh, you get the codes, the cheap codes.
Cheap codes are good.
About it, then.
Cheap codes are good.
I don't feel bad about it.
Also, as you say about Game Pass, Forza 5 had 1 million early access.
Exactly.
The only
Yeah,
play
so
to early access
money in
is
it.
to pay a minimum of $39.99.
Yeah.
So they had around 30, 40 million people buying the early access to play it a week early. I think that's going to be their model for their big releases. I could see them saying, you want to play Halo a week early, multiplayer? You can unlock it, and that gets you all the DLC, that gets you all any extra stuff.
I've got a feeling like that, Stig.
Livelies or whatever.
I think
like that.
I think they're going to start doing that with some third-party stuff as well. Some mega deals.
I can see them probably doing it for maybe like stuff like Stalker 2.
Some mega deals, like for instance, Elden Ring. It's never going to happen. It's too soon now. But Elden Ring, they were saying, if you pay $19.99, you get to play Elden Ring a week early, and you get the DLC. Ooh. And people are going to be like, only on Xbox I can do that. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, it would be, like maybe like saying to people like pay a little bit more than what the season pass costs to get early access as well.
Yeah, and then Sony's going to be like, we'll do that on the PS6. You know what I mean? It's just going to be too late.
No. Sony will come in on the PS6 with a Game Pass.
Yeah, called Game Pass.
They'll be a generation behind on good ideas.
yeah, that's true.
You know, like how the 360 came out and the selling point of the PS3 was you don't have to pay for the online, and then Sony saw how much Microsoft made from Xbox Live.
Yeah.
PS4, you've got to pay for the online.
Yeah, they'll play catch up one day, but I mean, the figures speak for themselves on actual consoles. But with Sony, you don't know if anyone's even playing them. They might just be in somebody's garage.
True.
Do you know what I mean? All them scalpers.
But regardless, Forza Horizon 5, if you got Game Pass, it's a fucking no-brainer. Just play it. And even if you don't like racing games, give it a blast, because even if you play 2 or 3 hours of it, it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
Right, on to me then. I've been playing a game recently, about 26 hours or so into it.
Wow.
So I think I'm at a point now where I think I can discuss it and whether I like it or not. I'm just going to share something.
Oodles, close your eyes.
No, it's all right.
No.
Why?
Can you hear that?
You playing Dragon Quest?
I have been playing Dragon Quest 11.
Ooh, I'm interested to hear
Are you playing the S version?
I'm playing the game on Game Pass. So I'm absolutely gutted you're not here for this, because I really wanted you to be in person to say this.
Oh no!
But yeah, I've played Dragon Quest, and
Hang on. Why are you playing it? How did you get onto that?
because Oodles never shuts up about it.
It works.
Oodles never shuts up about it.
Oh, you just only thought you were actually going to play it for once?
Yeah.
Oh.
It works when you constantly mention something's your favourite game ever.
Because I've always said, I'm not going to play that. It's a JRPG.
He's a good friend.
I don't like it. But it's on Game Pass, and I downloaded a load of new games onto my Xbox, and I started playing it, and then I haven't stopped playing it. And I haven't played Deathloop since the first week it came out.
I've got it here as well, because I got it on a lend, and I'm still not touched it really.
But yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty fucking good. It's really good as baby's first JRPG, isn't it?
Yeah, last week we did a show on gaming soundtracks.
Yeah.
It's got a fucking incredible
It does have a
soundtrack.
really
I told
good
you.
soundtrack.
I told you.
So good. And I was like, I can't talk about it in last week.
Oh, wow.
Because I want to talk about the game this week.
Wow.
Honestly, I've got like notes here as I've been playing it.
I mean, for you're playing the battle music to get the reaction from Oodles. The battle music is really fucking good.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like I've played loads of JRPGs, and that is the most memorable battle music.
It's better
even
than
more
Final Fantasy
VII.
It's better.
And you even hum it when you're battling as well.
It's so happy. It's like major key and everything. It's glorious.
It used to be
I've been humming it in life away from the game. That and the music from the towns.
It
and
used to
from
be my
the
alarm
open
clock on the morning, the
vistas.
battle theme, and it gets you pumped.
I mean, it is now confirmed Stig is a weeb.
No, not
Oh,
with
man,
Dragon
I was-
Quest, because
I was a
Dragon
bit
Quest
of a
is a
weeb.
cultural like cornerstone of gaming. It transcends JRPG. Like I said
The
to
cultural
Stig,
cornerstone of gaming for weebs.
No, see, I think Dragon Quest doesn't have that same
it hasn't.
feel and look of.
Oh, look how he's changed.
He's right.
It doesn't
though, it's
have
not.
the look of like a Persona.
Yeah, he's not like Persona.
It's not Golden Cloud.
It's not pervy.
So I'll talk about the stuff I like about it,
Yes.
shall I?
Yes.
Go on then.
So the music is brilliant.
Yep.
The world is fantastic. It looks amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Like, just outside of the character creations, like the actual world and the environments look incredible.
Yep.
The battle system I really like.
Yeah.
Because you can mix it up depending on how you want to play. So, and it's not surprise attacks. I hate surprise attacks. So if I want to fight a monster, I'll go up to it and hit it.
Yep.
If I want to ignore it, I'll just run around it.
Yep.
And I can set it to automatic fighting. I can set it to all different types of defense or attack or follow orders. So what I tend to do is, if I'm just doing a bit of grinding and hitting low-level monsters, I just set it to automatic.
You
You
barely need to grind it.
You barely need to grind.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows the tactics.
If I'm fighting a big monster, I'll put it to follow orders, so I tell everyone how to do stuff
Yes.
and I do it. Yeah.
Yes.
He's engaging with systems, everybody.
No, but he's doing it exactly how he should be without anyone telling him.
Oodles is appreciating him.
I always
Look at his
have.
happy little face, look.
I mean, this is like a
Healing
Christmas
me.
present for Oodles.
Yeah. The crafting aspect is brilliant. The little forge you get.
Oh, it's so addictive, isn't it?
But what I really like about that is if you don't have a specific part you need, you can buy it.
You just buy it there and then.
So you're not running around looking for, I need one piece of silver. Where the fuck do I get this from?
Mhm.
It's like, I'll just buy it because spending 200 gold on a piece of silver to make a piece of armor that will cost you 2,000 gold makes sense.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I really like the characters.
Who's your favourite so far?
I've got Eric,
Yep.
the two sisters, and Sylvando.
Silvando, baby.
Sylvando is amazing.
He's incredible. Incredible.
I've just
He gets
done
better.
the fight tournament.
Ooh.
So that's about
you're
where I'm
getting
at the moment.
new goodies soon then.
Yeah, so I've just done all that. Oh, fuck.
Oh, he's so happy with Dragon Quest. His chest is set off.
He's a phoenix down.
No, it's not a phoenix down in that. It's a resurrection vial.
Nerd.
Oh, sorry, that was a bit... My chest just... Ugh.
Drink it off.
So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm going to play it through. I'm probably just going to mainline it. There's a lot of side quests.
You don't have to do the
I might-
side quests, yeah.
I might do them if I can... If they're on the way, but I'm not going out the way to go from one end of the map to the other to
I
do
do
them,
need to
so-
warn you of a thing. So you can do the main quest and get the credits and stuff without grinding and stuff like that. But then there's the 50-hour end game content, which is for like if you are into that kind of grinding and
No, we'll see. I like the storyline.
You don't have to do
I
it.
like where it's going. I like the what's going on. I'm on a I'm on a ship now, or have I just
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
you've
flying
left
around on a
Galapagos,
ship.
you've left Galapagos,
Yeah.
you've left Gondolia. So yeah,
I feel like we're in like a situation that when you're playing a Persona game and two characters get a little bit closer and you get that like kind of little positive kind of sparkle that comes out between Noodles and Stig.
do you remember when?
And, like their relationship has deepened somewhat.
Do you remember when I first when we did the gaming thing and I was describing how I felt with Dragon Quest XI, where I felt like every moment you play it, even if you play it for half an hour or an hour, it feels like a little a bedtime story. Just gently.
That's in my notes.
Yeah, he gently caresses you.
Little stories.
Little smiles.
It doesn't matter how much you play, you'll get something done.
Yeah, I've got to hear that. Like, I like when you go to little cities, you do everything's like a little story.
Yeah.
You're doing this little. Part
It's very
of the-
Ghibli-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the design of the characters. I do have some issues.
Oh, so do I.
I'm gonna have to talk about these. First off, I don't like all the monsters. I think some of them look absolute shite.
They're carried over from the original game.
What's I've got here? Big monsters with human arms and big lips, big kissing lips. Hogs with wizard hats on.
Me.
Rabbits in gimp costumes.
Yeah.
These are weird. And then you get awesome ones like the Spitfire and the Flython, and you get really good-looking monsters. But you have all these little weird ones that just
Have you
look a bit
noticed they've
shit.
all got pun names as well?
Yeah.
Did you say pigs in gimp outfits?
No, bunnies.
No, the bunnies.
Bunnies
the
and
Even better.
Rabbits and gimp outfits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what rabbits naturally wear.
Yeah.
Some of
the jumping is terrible.
Some of them date back to 1987. Do you know what I mean?
That doesn't make it all right.
Does.
Yeah, the jumping's terrible.
Oh, it's wank. It's horrible.
And right, you can't come at me at this because you agreed with this the other week on the podcast. The protagonist being silent is terrible.
Yeah, he's detrimental in that story, I think.
Because they've done such good work with all the other characters, really good voice actors, really good script, and he just stands there looking like a gormless cunt.
Yeah, it does. Have you noticed with the hero character, in flashbacks when he's a kid, he talks?
Yeah, there's another note. How is it that he talks when you got flashbacks, but
he forgets?
In the actual thing, he's just stood there like, Stig explains this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just why didn't they do?
It's weird because in some Dragon Quest games, the main character has spoken, but for some reason, since they've done 3D ones with voice acting, they've just given them no dialogue whatsoever.
Yeah,
I don't know
really
why.
Does stand out. I totally agree with
Because if you play in a first-person shooter like Half-Life 2, a kind of silent protagonist works because you're seeing through those eyes.
Yeah, but you're not seeing it through his eyes.
You're watching cutscenes.
Yeah, it
and
makes
he just
no sense.
stands there. And all the characters look like they've got cross-eyed, so it makes him look even more gormless.
It is a weird thing with the art that the characters are looking straight forward, but because of the way they've drawn the eyes, like the pupils like in the middle of their face.
Yeah.
It does look like they're like that all the time.
It does.
I think that's it.
I think the best thing
that's the only problems I've got with it. Everything else I'm really enjoying.
The hero character, the main character, might not have a personality at all, but his friends have got such personality.
Oh yeah, Sylvando as well is incredible.
That's one of the little sister Sam at you, Stig.
No, Stig's. There is a character in this game that's basically got mine and Stig's accent.
One of them sounds like Candy.
Yeah, yes.
The village is starting.
Gemma.
Just sounds like Candy.
You want Pepper?
That's exactly what
We
she
don't
does.
sound like anything.
She has the strongest West Country accent.
There's also
I probably know her.
like that West Country accent where it makes them sound thick.
yeah.
I don't know what you're on about.
There's also a baddie.
Oh, look at the size of that monster!
I'm not going to name them what they're doing stuff, but there is a baddie later in the game that has got the thickest Geordie accent you've ever heard.
Amazing.
Fucking mint like.
Oh, he says mint. Oh, that's mint. But oh god, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a
so
few
happy
questions
for
I
you.
have.
I'm
So
happy.
right,
It's like Christmas for you, isn't it, Oodles?
what's with all the big muscly guys in gimp masks?
It's Japanese homoeroticism, isn't it?
Maybe
Anne's
I,
immediately interested.
maybe I ought to play.
They've always been like strangely obsessed with homoeroticism in Japan, haven't they? Because it's like quite a regressed homosexual nation, isn't it? They're not loud and proud like a lot of people. So yeah, that's why.
The words coming out of Oodles' mouth are the opinions of Oodles and not modern escapism.
Yes.
So that would maybe be the reason for Puff Puff.
Puff Puff is
It's a blowjob.
It is a blowjob, yes,
Yeah.
but they're just not calling it that.
It's just done very tastefully, isn't it?
Yes.
No, you walk up to a woman on the street and she's like, I give the best puff in the land.
Says, do you want a bit
Do you
of
want to
puff
come
puff?
with me? And you click yes, and it goes all dark, and it comes back up, and she's just like, oh, thank you very much for letting me give you puff, and you're like,
Yeah.
you don't get any stamp boosts for it.
One of them has the dad do it.
Yeah, one of them has the dad do it.
There's one bit where you go in, she's like, my dad's one of the best puff givers in the kingdom.
There's actually a podcast, a Dragon Quest podcast called Puff Hour, and their intros. Everyone knows what Puff is. Someone's getting the dick sucked. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
And what was it in one of the Dragon Quests? I think it might have been one of the DS ones where you could create a character from scratch and you could be a female. And if you're a female and you go for Puff, at the end they go, it's quite hard to do Puff on you. Like, yeah, they ain't got a dick. There's more effort put in.
Right, yeah. So that's me. Yeah, thank you everyone for that. I'm glad that I was able to cheer you up there, Oodles.
It worked.
Good. So, Big E, let's find out what we're doing today.
Well, what started out as a great idea has now the potential to end friendships, start fights, and end in a murder, as we're in the same room and alcohol is involved. Because we are simply going to be arguing over the greatest film of all time and why it's Ice Pirates.
Well, we might as well just stop the podcast now. Should we go to the Patreon section right now?
Hey.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. No, so we're going to do like we've done before with the biscuits and the games. We're going to draw the films out of a hat. Everyone's going to do a little pitch about why their film is the best, and then we're going to vote on what goes through to the next round. But because there's 5 of us, we're going to have to do a preliminary round first to level out the standings. So I'm going to draw the names out of a hat. It's a literal hat. It's a
literal modern escapism.
It's a modern escapism hat, which you can find on our merch site. So if you go to our website,
reasonably priced,
modernescapism.co.uk, you'll find a link to our merch shop.
Oh, he's ever corporate, isn't he?
We need us. But do buy stuff though.
Yes, excellent. We're all sat around wearing our modern escapism gear.
I've got my modern escapism thong on now.
Right, so I'm going to draw out the first film, and it is The Dark Knight. From Candy.
This isn't a car.
And we're going to do who it's against first.
Yeah. Do who it's against.
It will be against Goodfellas.
Ooh.
Fuck.
So, Candy, tell us why The Dark Knight is the greatest film of all time.
Right then. Well, I've spoken about this on the pod before. And like I said before, I think it's not only one of the best superhero movies of all time, but it's just one of the best films of all time, I think. And I'm going to go straight in with what I think makes this film so special to so many people, and it's Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. The whole supporting cast are wonderful, but his performance, it's just outstanding. He took what was already a dark role, and he and Nolan took it to absolutely another level. So not only do you have the kind of comedic flamboyance that previous Jokers brought, but he also has this like sadistic kind of psychopathic mastermind side to him, and he really gets under all the characters' skins. He was just this the perfect counterpart to Christian Bale's Batman, and the pair of them, they've just got such a dynamic chemistry on screen throughout the film. And the whole supporting cast, they're all brilliant. Like Heath Ledger, obviously, he's the most obvious one, as I've already spoken about. But you've also got Gary Oldman, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Aaron Eckhart, and Maggie Gyllenhaal. And all of them have a really important role to play rather than just being there as kind of token gestures. They're all integral to the story. Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent both played roles in taking down the Joker. And the film's just not afraid to do the unexpected. For example, the scene where Batman has to choose between whether Harvey Dent or Rachel Dawes lives. the audience, along with Rachel herself, kind of assume she's the one who'll be saved. And I remember it actually being a shocking moment in the cinema when I saw it, when Batman chose, spoiler alert, chose Harvey Dent. And then in doing so, he kind of created this ultra baddie, turning him into Two-Face, and just horrifically burnt and bitter and furious that Batman chose not to save Rachel. And it was just a really clever sort of origin story for him. And moving away from the characters, I think the soundtrack as well. And I can always, like, a soundtrack is nearly, it always sells a film to me. Like, it can be a shite film, and if it's got a good soundtrack, it'll really bring it back. And obviously Batman's not a shit film, but it's just straight off the bat, the music by Hans Zimmer creates just such a dramatic tension. It's especially the main theme that kind of plays throughout. And it's just sort of where he started the trilogy, where the first film kind of laid the foundation, The Dark Knight just took it up a notch, and just everything about it, I think, was perfect. Like Heath Ledger's performance, Christian Bale's Batman, the kind of twists and turns throughout, and just everyone's performance, all the special effects as well were brilliant. It doesn't look dated. I mean, it's an old film now. It's like, came out in 2008. So it's well over 10 years old. Doesn't look dated at all. And it's just from the get-go, it goes straight into the action. You know, you've got that kind of bank heist, and you don't realize the Joker's sort of orchestrating it. Takes the mask off and it's him. I just absolutely love it. It's brilliant.
Wow, well, I'm certainly going to have to up my game for selling a film after that. So, Oodles, sell us on Goodfellas.
It's my most watched movie of all time by a massive margin. So, for people a lot less well-known than Dark Knight, Goodfellas, 1990 American biographical crime film, directed by Sir Martin Scorsese, if he was English.
I don't think he's a sir.
No, of course he's not.
That's his official title.
And written by Nicholas Pileggi, so the actual author of the book as well, which is based on. The book's called Wise Guy. It stars, and this cast list, impeccable. So you've got Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Lorraine Bracco, and Paul Sorvino, and many, many other cast. We've got Samuel L. Jackson at one point. It's basically the life and times of wannabe wise guy and gangster Henry Hill, who unfortunately is not full-blooded Italian, so he's got Irish blood, so he can never be what they call a made man in the mafia, in the Italian mafia, but he can be as close as his blood lineage will allow him. And yeah, it's just the rise and ultimate downfall of that kind of life. That, for me, it's the pinnacle of the gangster genre, or the American gangster genre anyway. They're a lot different to how British gangster films are done. American ones, to glamorise it, and especially Scorsese. You know, Scorsese wishes he was a mafia don, and I think this is his best film. It's just got great music, and the music changes throughout the film because of he's getting older and times, and ends up getting into the early 90s and stuff like that. And it's just it was quite a low budget film. I think it was like 25 million or something like that, and originally grossed at box office 45 million. So not incredible by that imagination, but critically, it's got like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes still today. It's won many, many, many awards, and it was, I think, known as, it's in the top 100 films of all time. So is Dark Knight, but it's just, like, I'm a big fan of these crime dramas, and this, for me, I mean, I don't know if you guys have all seen it, but I think Goodfellas is, it doesn't feel like it's 1990 that it came out, apart from everyone's fucking hair. But it's like, it's my first time I remember seeing Ray Liotta in a leading role. I know he probably had done stuff before that, but he's perfect in this. There's the scene, you're talking to me, I'm a clown, like I'm a clown funny. You know what I mean? Joe Pesci not being the Sticky Bandit, the Wet Bandit, actually being the most terrifying 5'2" man in the world. And yeah, it's just good. De Niro's impeccable in it as well. And there's a narration shift in it that I'd not seen done before that point. And like it changes from Henry Hill's wife and stuff like that, and Paulie and stuff, and other gangsters. And it's just so fucking good. I think when it comes to gangster films, this is the one you have to watch. Well, because they're not all brilliant. A lot of them are, but this is the one you have to watch because it's the one it's still got a nice sprinkling of comedy. Like the film opens with Joe Pesci stabbing the fuck out of someone in the back of a car, and you're like, how the hell did they get to that moment? Oh, you'll find out. And past that, do you know what I mean? It's so good. I think it started the cliche, "This is me. You may be wondering how I got here." It starts that, but in a cooler, slicker way. And yeah, it's just I just adore everything about it. Don't watch it if you're hungry. Don't watch it if you're trying to quit smoking. Don't watch it if you're a bit squeamish. It's not for the kids. It's definitely an adult film. There's a lot of swear words in it. There's a lot of words that you don't want to hear, but it's a sign of the times, and I think it's a 10 out of 10 film. And the book's good as well. So, yeah, that's my pitch.
Wow. Well, I love both of these films, so this is going to be a very tough one for me. But I'm going to go to Gadget first.
Well, the simple fact is I've never seen Goodfellas.
You're doing yourself a disservice there.
I know you can add it to the list of excellent films I haven't seen. But also with The Dark Knight, like, I love the Batman films, generally speaking, even the shit ones, because you can watch the Joel Schumacher ones and laugh at them quite heartily.
Yeah.
But I really, really love Heath Ledger's interpretation of the Joker. And the Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time. Not because I'm one of these like random internet people that identifies with them on any kind of meaningful scale. It's because you're damaged, aren't you? Well, I am damaged, but not in that way.
Why are you so serious?
I'm always serious. But I like that Heath Ledger took the Joker character, and instead of making him a clown, he took this kind of like almost animalistic attitude towards him, this kind of very unhinged way of playing him. Very creepy. And I think he really got how scary the Joker should be. And I also really do appreciate that a lot of the special effects in The Dark Knight were practical effects. Like if you watch like a making of, you see how that truck flip that they do in Chicago. It's like, and they really did. Like, I remember seeing that at the cinema thinking, that's a really impressive special effect. And then I saw the making of that. That's a really fucking impressive special effect.
Well, there's actually no CGI at all in Goodfellas.
but it's a very different film. But yeah,
Actually, very quickly speaking about special effects, the walk through in Goodfellas through the restaurant when he walks through the door follows all the way through. One take. Really impressive.
I'm sure Goodfellas is a superb film, and I'm sure it's one of the best gangster films of all time, but I haven't seen it, so Dark Knight for me.
Makes sense.
Just quickly before we move on to you, Biggie, after you've done Fast and Furious, can we do a Gadget Watchers series for really great films?
Well, like Goodfellas and Seven. And...
yeah, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, you need to watch these films.
The seminal the films that you have to watch before you die.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Great. Right, Biggie.
Yeah, it's tough. And actually, I think both Candy and Gadget presented that really well for the movie. Dark Knight is as good as they both say. But I'm a massive fan of Goodfellas. Always have been. I've seen it many times, probably not as many as you. Oodles, but the ensemble cast, the story. I've not read the book.
It's really good.
I did appreciate it was an autobiographical movie in a way, but the acting by everybody in that movie is top notch. So unfortunately for me, unfortunately for Stig, I'm going for Goodfellas. So yeah, you're the vote, mate.
Another quick fact about Goodfellas is it was the first film Scorsese said, "Do you know what? Fuck it, ad-lib what you want." Most of the incremental dialogue is ad-libbed between absolute masters of their craft. So
I'm sure that helps Stig immensely.
Should have gone first, shouldn't I?
You should have.
So, The Dark Knight is the best Batman film.
Yes.
One of the greatest superhero and comic book films ever. And probably the biggest mainstream Batman film ever, I'd say.
Easily.
It got
Yeah, I'd say
people
that.
who... I've got a best friend who considers it's one of his favourite films of all time. Probably doesn't give a shit about any other Batman film, but The Dark Knight...
I will say,
loves.
apropos of nothing, and not towards your argument either way, but it's amazing how much DC have fucked it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Considering what Chris Nolan laid down with The Dark Knight, like, this is how you do a dark superhero film. And DC went, no, we're not doing that.
It's coming back though. I think this new one looks good.
This Robin Pattinson one looks good.
But Goodfellas is generally my favourite gangster film of all time. I would hold it above the Godfather films.
I do.
Personally, even though I think they're both 1 and 2, especially both incredible. So I'm really stuck. I have both as 5 out of 5 films.
Ooh.
Who do you like more, Candy or Oodles?
Don't work like
It's
that.
not the way to vote on this. Artistic integrity demands that I vote on the film only, not on the personality who
Can I get
nominated
you another drink,
it.
by the way?
Somebody could wait on me hand and foot this weekend. Somebody couldn't. See, no, like
If anybody needs any video game codes, just let me know. I'll get you over there.
Have you got Battlefield?
I can get it.
Done.
I have to go with Goodfellas.
Yeah, you know it.
Ooh, there's a fight.
That's because you're a fucking wise guy. It's just,
No, I
it's
have
just
to
a
say
better
I
film.
don't mind losing to Goodfellas because it is genuinely incredible, and I'm not even like a particular gangster movie fan, but it's brilliant. So
The thing is that The Dark Knight was my backup film. I do love it. I do love it, but there are, in my opinion, better superhero films.
You're wrong there, but yeah, okay.
No, but
Oodles, what's on your bio? Your favourite movie?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The Dark Knight is one of my favourite films of all time, but it's been surpassed in the superhero realm. And my favourite person in The Dark Knight isn't Heath Ledger's performance either. I like Aaron Eckhart's performance as Two-Face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the only film he's acted in.
Yeah, I really like him in that.
Bear in mind, Aaron Eckhart was in The Call,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
which is one of Pip's favourite films.
But I don't think there's a wasted actor in Goodfellas at all.
Well,
Yeah,
most
I
of
don't
them
think
were
there is in
wasted by
Dark
the
Knight
end.
either. It's just-
The-
they're both great films.
Yeah, they're
It was
both
very
5 out of
tough
5s. Tough draw at the
Right,
beginning.
so we've got another prelim round to get through first. And the first film up will be Hot Fuzz.
Oh, fucking hell.
Sorry, Candy.
For the greater good.
This is
The greater good.
random out of a hat.
Chat it.
Against Back to the Future.
Fuck!
Shit.
So, Candy, Hot Fuzz.
Yours is Back to the Future, right?
Yep.
After you, because I went first last time.
She's right. She's right.
I didn't.
Ooh, fighting talk. Whoa.
Shh. It's
Check out the big
home
balls on
advantage.
Candy.
Hot Fuzz went first.
It's just gone up a level.
Right. We wrote a lot of prep for this today. I think I wrote too much. Back to the Future. It's a classic sci-fi comedy. It's about a high school student who's sent 30 years into the past with a time-traveling DeLorean. The film was directed by Robert Zemeckis, produced by Steven Spielberg, and it stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Christian Glover, and Thomas F. Wilson. It is a timeless classic.
Well, hey.
Yes. It's full of memorable scenes, great music, amazing characters, and no more so than the central duo of Mark McFly and Doc Brown. Mark McFly is a perfect protagonist. He's hard to find a hero with as much charm, humanity, and humor as lovable teenager Marty McFly, brought to life by Michael J. Fox. Marty's world is kind of thrown upside down after he has to travel back to 1955 to escape some terrorists.
Yeah,
and he finds
terrorists.
And that's the plot. And he finds himself face to face with his loser father. Not to mention caught into a love triangle with his own mother, which all sounds a bit odd. But other than that, it's a really funny film. And Marty is a successful lead not only because he seems like the coolest kid in school, but also because he actually isn't. His charm draws viewers in, but his true self is a clumsy, awkward teenager. And then there's Doc Brown. Even though he's this mad scientist architect, he has been around for years in many films. It's hard to find a mad scientist as deranged and heartwarming as Christopher Lloyd's Doc Brown. His wide-eyed expression, frazzled hair, constant relentless roaming, and just constant kind of madness of here and there and everywhere. The guy just doesn't stop. He is constantly when he's talking, he's over there and he's over here and he's over here, but you can keep up with him easily. And it's
you just described Doodles.
Yeah.
Funny thing is,
the way that him and Marty bounce off each other
so.
is that relationship is just amazing. And less said about a teenage boy being friends with a middle-aged old man, the better. But other than that, it kind of has this teenage boy with his grandfather relationship.
That's what it's supposed to be, isn't it?
And it works so well. And, then you throw in Lorraine, George, Biff, and all the other characters. The script fits together like clockwork. There's so many parts in that film where if you actually don't notice it, then it all fits into later in the film. So there's little bits going on in the beginning of the film, just in the background, that actually mean something later in the film. And it's just a great script full of great characters, a really fun story. Like I said, brilliant music, and sets out probably one of the best trilogies of all time. And it has an amazing ending. And the fact that we're recording on the 12th of November.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right now is a pretty seminal date for this film. And just everything about it is one of the greatest films of all time. There's no denying about that. It's a film that it's timeless, it's classic. I've shown it it came out before I was born, and I love it. I've shown it to my children, and they love it, and they've watched the sequels, and they love them as well. And it has just probably one of the greatest endings ever, where Marty goes back to the future, and then all of a sudden, he's back in 1955. How the fuck is he back there? We don't know. Let's find out in the sequel.
Yeah.
But it just has this amazing, amazing ending. And everything that leads up to that part is just fun. And it's just one of the funnest sci-fis of all time. It's just an amazing adventure film. So there it is.
Follow that.
All right, then. Well, if you want fun films, look no further than Hot Fuzz. I think especially if you're English, you can certainly relate to the kind of small village attitude that which Hot Fuzz is set in. So if you haven't seen it, it's the second in what's called the Cornetto trilogy by Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. So it's their kind of team. And it's the second, the first one being Shaun of the Dead, the third in the film being The World's End. And it follows police officers Nicholas Angel and Nick Frost's character, whose name I forget at this point.
Oh, wow. All the homework you were doing for this.
I know. It's the wine. It's the wine.
Nicholas Angel.
That's Simon Pegg's character. And then...
Let's just say it's Ed from Shaun of the Dead.
Ed from Shaun of the Dead. That's all you need to know.
It's Danny, isn't it?
It's Danny, yes. You're very correct. It's just one of the funniest films you can possibly see. It's the most quotable. If you've seen the film... literally almost every single line you can relate to any kind of part of the day. There's just any quote. The action sequence is hilarious. One of my favorite scenes is the Amdrams section where they're doing a really terrible rendition of Romeo and Juliet. And at the end it's like da 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 da, love me, say that you love me. And I cannot tell you the amount of Amdrams that I've been dragged to in my lifetime and that's one of the better ones. And it's also like surprisingly gory as well. Like it has some really scary moments, like the bit where the reporter gets the top
me
of
up every time.
It's like the top of a church steeple just goes directly onto head and completely smashes it in. And like all Edgar Wright films, it takes a bit of a turn in the ending scenes where it actually gets quite dark in some places, and you've got the horror elements like the greater good and crusty jugglers, and you realise that actually the entire village is in on it. They're responsible. So sorry, spoiler alert. They're actually responsible for all these murders purely because they want to win like the best
Village of the Year.
The Village of the Year award. Yeah. So yeah, all the blood, guts, everything, so they can win this award.
Have you lived in a small rural village? They find that shit very important.
Having grown up in a small rural village in the West Country, I can relate very hard. It's honestly one of the funniest films you could possibly see. I think
I actually stole a quote from that that I've used in my everyday life when people say, "Oh, when's your birthday?" and I'll say, "Oh," and someone else say like, "Oh, 20." And what year? And every year.
Yeah.
I love that one. Every year.
And we all know what your birthday is as well now.
No, shut up.
Only if you join our Discord.
Ugh.
But yeah, one of the funniest films, one of the most quotable. Everyone loves Simon Pegg. Everyone loves Nick Frost.
It's the best of the trilogy.
It is absolutely the best of the trilogy by far.
I've been seeing some Edgar Wright rankings recently after Last Night in Soho, and some people had it last, and I was just like,
they're wild.
What is wrong with them?
What is wrong with you?
I mean,
it's not even like, even if you don't like it as much as, like, say, Shaun of the Dead or Scott Pilgrim, it's better than fucking The World's End.
I was going to say, At World's End is objectively the worst.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad film.
No,
but it's
just not as good.
Yeah, boy.
Right, Oodles. Who are you voting for?
I didn't want it to be as easy as it is because I think it's a no fucking brainer. It's Back to the Future. It's literally one of the best films ever made. It's do you know what? Because when I first watched Back to the Future, I'm probably about between 5 and 10. You usually watch it before you're a teenager, and there's a moment when I watched it again as a bit older that really it captivated me. Where there's the moment when it's called Two Pines Mall, and then it goes into the past, runs one of the pines over, comes back, and it's the Lone Pine Mall or something like that. That's a big moment. But there's
so many Easter eggs.
The fucked up thing is, though, brilliant. Hot Fuzz has those kind of Easter eggs in it.
It does. And
you can tell there would be no Hot Fuzz or no Shaun of the Dead without Back to the Future. You can tell. You can just tell. It's kind of there's something there. There isn't a homage to it. I know it's not the same genre and stuff, but there's a lot of film, how he's filmed it like that. There's a lot of Easter eggs. That's what we call them now, but we used to call them Easter eggs and stuff. But I do love Hot Fuzz, but you can't. It's Back to the Future. Do you know what I mean? If you'd have said Back to the Future Part 3, I'd have probably said Hot Fuzz.
So would I.
I know some people like Back to the Future Part 2 better than 1. They're wrong. But it's still a good film.
I'm looking at you.
Stop calling out our listeners.
But yeah, it's not that I don't like Hot Fuzz, because I fucking do. And yeah, it's Back to the Future. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck? You can't go against it, man. It could win this. That's how strong a film Back to the Future is.
But let's see what Biggie has to say.
He's not fucking he's in the same room and he's not listening.
I was checking something was working fine. No, you put it perfectly, because I had exactly the same epiphany when I saw the movie. I saw it again when I was younger, enjoyed the movie for what it was, but didn't really get all the hidden bits. And then when you just watch it at a certain point, and it just suddenly you're like, oh, this shit is clever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry. And actually, I'm one of those people that actually like Shaun of the Dead more than Hot Fuzz.
Oh, so you're that type.
That's no disrespect to Hot Fuzz, because I like it. But I'm still a fan of Shaun of the Dead, but yeah, it's Back to the Future for me. I totally agree with what Stiggy raised and points you brought up as well. Sorry, Ken.
You can tell us which one you'd have voted for.
Out of the two, I would have voted for Hot Fuzz. Not because I don't like Back to the Future.
He doesn't like
I love
it.
Back to the Future. I like the soundtrack. How I play Johnny B. Good on the guitar is the way Marty McFly plays it.
Everyone should.
In the film because I learnt it from that version of the song. But I don't know. I think I prefer. I am one of those wrong people that prefers Back to the Future 2 over the first one. Not because I think Back to the Future is a bad film in any way, but I don't know. I think I preferred the sci-fi aesthetic of Back to the Future 2. And with Hot Fuzz, it's, as Candy said, it's just infinitely quotable, and it's like a proper feel-good film for me. It's one of those films that, even though it's actually dark as fuck.
Oh, it's dark.
And it is dark as fuck. It makes me chuckle. Like, the other day, me and Pip were watching one of those kind of police interceptors, police stop kind of programs. And it was one of the situations where the policeman was chasing someone, and they went into the kind of the back streets, and they said, "Oh, he's hopping over fences." And immediately I thought of Nick Frost falling through a fence.
We literally talked about this before we started the podcast, about that moment where he falls through the fence. And it gets me every time.
Every single time. But it gets me so much that in a serious kind of like cop show kind of thing, I still think of it.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that
it's how he smashes through it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So
Nicholas
good.
Angel hopping over a fence like a gazelle, and then just Nick Frost just barrels through it. It's so fucking
It's how
funny.
I would go over a fence.
And the thing is, it's such an easy joke, but Edgar Wright knows how to pitch it so well. It hits.
It's got a really good
So, yeah.
start as well, where he's arguing it. He's like, "I don't want to go to this village. All right, we'll meet the superintendent," and he's going all the way up to the top of the
Yeah.
Met. It's so funny.
How's the hand?
Yeah,
I mean, it's to the point where whenever one of my friends moves house, I buy them a peace lily.
yeah.
It's something stupid like that. But yeah, so yeah, I would have went.
Andy's
Hot
just
Fuzz.
had bad luck, really, because
She
two
has.
bangers.
It's okay. I don't mind. I lost to two very good films.
You can get drunk. You can get drunk now.
Yeah.
Who says she isn't?
Yeah, I will agree that Hot Fuzz could have beat other films that are in there for me, guaranteed. But it got drawn against mine, so I couldn't do much about it.
It's for the greater good.
So
Good.
Back to the Future and Goodfellas go back into the hat, and we're going to draw them against something else. So now we're into, what's this? I think it's this semi-final, is it? Quarterfinal. Quarterfinal. The first film out is... Oh, it's not mine, so I'll have to do another pitch straight away. It is. It's Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
Can I just ask a question? If I get drawn against my own film, do we draw
You
again?
can redraw.
You're
Yeah.
fucked.
And it's against Goodfellas.
Well, we've already had the pitch for Goodfellas, so we can go straight into Jurassic Park.
It's one of the greatest films of all time. You all know it's better than Goodfellas. No, I'll do a serious pitch.
Life
So,
science
in
award.
1993, Steven Spielberg would unleash the definitive dinosaur film. At least to this day, it's not been bettered since. It's a film that would set the standard in the 90s for CG effects, and a good portion of which are still effective to this day. It's adapted by the novel by Michael Crichton. This film focuses more on man's hubris, but sets out its ability to change, whereas the novel's a bit more cynical about man's perfecting nature. And this is kind of what Spielberg and the writer of the screenplay, Corpus, brought to the film. They take the good stuff from the novel and they perfect it to make this film. Add to that, it's one of the greatest film scores of all time by John Williams. It's a soundtrack that's so iconic even to this day that it carries you into the imagination of Spielberg, Crichton, and Coep. It transports you to a place where dinos walk the earth. Science makes everything possible. It's not only is the soundtrack amazing, but the sound design for that film is outstanding and second to none. The noise that the dinosaurs make are incredible. And in some cases really scary. That T-Rex roar is iconic. Those raptor screeches when you're a young child are scary as fuck.
Yep.
And if you've ever been to a theme park that has a dino land there, they basically just steal Jurassic Park sounds.
Yeah.
Because they know how good those sounds sound. What Spielberg did with Jurassic Park is exactly what he did for Jaws. He made the perfect dinosaur film. So where he made the perfect shark film with Jaws that's never been bettered, he did that with Jurassic Park, and nearly 30 years later, as I said, it's not being bested. And to be honest, in our lifetime, I don't think it ever will be. You watch the current adaptations of the Jurassic World films, and you can throw as much CGI and special effects into them, but nothing will have the charm and the special feeling that you get from watching that first Jurassic Park. It stars a plethora of amazing actors from Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough. And we've talked about this before, how the mark of a great actor is seeing a character and not an actor.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a film better than Jurassic Park where your 4 leads are those characters. When you watch that film, it's Ellie Sadler, Alan Grant, John Hammond, and Ian Malcolm. It isn't the actors, it's the characters. You are watching those characters, you are going through everything with those characters. And I think all of them are just outstanding in that film. Outside of the cast and crew, the movie captures imagination like no other film. In 1993, it's a dinosaur film with that outstanding CGI. And yes, before Oodles touches on it, the Brachiosaurus scene is very outdated and looks a bit shit, but everything else and all the other set pieces look absolutely fantastic. Everyone remembers the first time they see the T-Rex with that water vibrating, and it steps out and it roars and it attacks the car. You remember the T-Rex chase scene, the Gallimimus stampede, the raptors in the kitchen, and then that T-Rex saving the day with that iconic shot of it roaring and the banner falling down. All of that looks absolutely incredible. And it's a film that's quoted endlessly. Everyone's got fond memories of watching it. I've said this before on the pod, but I remember going to see that film at 7 years old and being in awe of the T-Rex, being so scared of it, I actually grabbed my dad's hand because it scared me that much, seeing that T-Rex on the screen for the first time. And even in all these years later, it holds up. Just like Back to the Future, I've shown my kids Jurassic Park and she absolutely loves it. It's a cinematic masterpiece, and it's probably one of the most important films of the 90s, and especially in Spielberg's career. And if we didn't have Jurassic Park, little tidbit, you wouldn't get Schindler's List. So think about that. Because Jurassic Park funded Schindler's List.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you know that? Let's not beat around the bush. Jurassic Park's won this round, but I want to talk about the fact that I think, and I'm sorry, but it's against my. I think Jurassic Park's a more important film than 2001: Space Odyssey, Citizen Kane, all those. I think it's one of the most important films that Hollywood have ever produced in our lifetimes and in any lifetime. And I know I'm batting for the wrong team here, but
you don't seem to be understanding the rules here.
Yeah, dude, it's Jurassic Park. Goodfellas is absolutely exceptional, my most watched film of all time. But it's Jurassic Park. The only thing, in my opinion, that I could even slate on Jurassic Park is the fact that every single film after it's been wank. But that's nothing to do with that masterpiece that's already there. So it's against me, but use your brain and vote for Jurassic Park.
If anything, the fact that every sequel's not even measured up to it is telling.
Never will.
What the first one is.
I think it's one of, if not the most important film ever made. I know it's ridiculous and it's about something fantastical. And yeah, Schindler's List came after it, and you need that film. And there's films that you need to be out there for, especially human history and especially things like Schindler's List. But Jurassic Park, as a fantasy film, I think it's one of the most important ones ever. There you go. I'm helping you.
So I'll jump in just to push it forward. I haven't seen Goodfellas. Love Jurassic Park. Go for that.
Yeah. You should.
I agree. It's just Jurassic Park. The only thing that I would possibly disagree with what you would say is that Jeff Goldblum is playing Jeff Goldblum again.
Yeah, he is exactly the same
Jurassic
character.
Park. I think he's got weirder as he's got older.
Yeah, he's really grown into his.
The thing is with Jeff Goldblum,
To be fair, he's grown into his Ian Malcolm as he's got.
no, he's
Maybe that's the case, yeah.
he's more Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park than he is in Independence Day. He's quite nerdy and laid back in Independence Day.
He's not laid back at all. He's fucking highly strung.
I don't think he got that weird until late to like these days. I
agree with it. I agree. He can't.
If you watch him in The Fly or Jurassic Park or like I said,
there's that scene in Jurassic Park where he's got his top off. That meme. He knows what he's fucking doing.
Exactly. If for nothing else, look at that meme.
He knows what he's doing.
Well, I'm going to surprise everyone here, and I'm picking Goodfellas.
Wow.
Well, you're wrong.
You are wrong.
No, I'm not, because it's my own personal choice, and I like Jurassic Park, but to me, it hasn't had that impact on me. I think it's a great movie, but
Maybe because you were older when it came out.
Probably.
Maybe it's an age thing. That's not even a joke.
I think Gadget's going for me.
Gadget's done. He's walked away from the pod.
No, I'm being serious. It's not. It might not be.
So when his picks come out, we'll just throw him in the bin.
It's not. It's not a joke. It might be an age thing. I was a child when I watched this in cinema.
Yeah,
I was
and
7.
I was an adult, and I think seeing Walking with Dinosaurs, seeing Jurassic Park, they're two great projects that have shown you, in a way, what it must have been like and how fascinating it would be if we could see that. But yeah, I still prefer Goodfellas out of the two. It's still my choice.
Wow.
I prefer it.
So not a whitewash.
It is also worth bearing in mind that Michael Crichton's book of Jurassic Park is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful, isn't it? I was just about to
It's
say that.
so bleak and depressing.
It's basically his other book, isn't it? Westworld. It's basically that.
Don't read Michael Crichton books.
No,
They're terrible.
Everyone makes better media out of it. Great. So those two go back in the hat. No, we've done that, haven't we?
Well, Goodfellas doesn't go back in that.
So Jurassic Park can stay there, and the next round will be.
You still need to watch Goodfellas today, Gadget.
All right, we'll sort that out.
And 7.
We have Parasite against The Fifth Element.
Whew.
Do you want me to go first, mate? Because mine's the hardest to discuss.
You were drawn first, sorry.
Yeah, I'll go first. So, Parasite. It's a South Korean black comedy thriller directed by Bong Joon-ho. Oh, he's now a household name in a lot of households. The film, get ready, guys, starring Song Kang-ho, Lee Sun-kyun, Jo Yo-jung, Cho Woo-shik, Park So-jam.
This is all I ever wanted for Christmas,
Jang
incidentally.
Hee-jin,
Him pronouncing South Korean actors.
Lee Jung-yeon.
John Cheetham is crying right now.
Absolutely.
That was real.
Absolutely nailed that, Oodles. Absolutely nailed
Thanks,
it. Don't
mate.
ignore these.
And that was a lot harder because my lungs are at a lower capacity.
Oh, look at him.
Oh my god.
Basically, this is so difficult because the less I say about this, the better. It follows a poor family who scheme to become employed by a wealthy family and infiltrate their household by posing as unrelated, highly qualified individuals. And that's really all I really want to talk about the plot of this film. If you haven't seen it, I think it's one of the most important modern day films. Especially as it's a foreign language film as well, to us at least, and it's made such a cultural impact. It's won Oscar, I think 2 Oscars. I think it won 2 Oscars. Foreign language film and Best Picture,
Best film,
Best Picture, which is
First foreign language film to do it.
Yeah, which is huge. It's that I'm so glad that's happened, and I'm glad it's a film that when I watched it, and I've watched it in the last 2 years for the first time, and when I watched it, I was like, yeah, of course this has won. This subverted absolutely every expectation I've ever had in a film. People think, oh, Sixth Sense, what? Oh my God, it subverted my expectations. No. Parasite subverts absolutely everything you think you know about it. Even though, because when I first saw Parasite, I thought it was a sci-fi thing. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like a sci-fi thing, parasites and stuff like that, but it's more literal than that.
Do you think it had a literal parasite?
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? It's what I've been trained to believe from Hollywood, but it's not Hollywood. This.
If you've seen some of his previous films, then you could probably understand why you'd think that.
Now there you go.
Watch Host.
Yeah, Host.
No, thank you.
I just think Parasite as a tale of humanity is spellbinding. It's absolutely everything. It's one of those things where, and some people, and I know we're not like that on this show, but some people don't like reading subtitles and stuff like that. This is one of those that proves that it doesn't fucking matter. You forget that you're reading it. Just the emotion on a language I don't speak or understand. The emotion you're getting out of just hearing it, even if you're not reading it, and everything they do, and the fact that beneath the hood, I didn't know that there's a lot of CGI involved in this film and stuff. This house is not the house that it's set in. It's not the house that you think it is in real life. They've put a lot into it and stuff, and it's just. Yeah, it's so hard that I can't really describe. If you've never seen it, I can't. You just have to watch it because it's a nice play on class and the class system in South Korea and stuff like that. I think it's such an important film. It's top 10 films of all time. I think it deserves more than just the awards it got. It needs to be in a Hall of Fame. It needs to be syllabus for media students. It's just a vital film. And please, if you've not even watched it, I don't like watching films like that, shut up and get some fucking culture. Just get some culture, because
Oodles has spoken.
It's such a special film, and it's just stunning to look at. And it was so cheaply made as well, and it's grossed loads of money since that. And it's just so important. Love it. Adore it. Parasite.
It's an excellent film, but let's hear what Gadget has to say about The Fifth Element.
I mean, it's the fucking Fifth Element. The Fifth Element is Luc Besson's last good film.
Yes.
I mean, it's just the argument. It is it's technically a French film. It stars Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, Chris Tucker, not Chris Rock. I always get those two mixed up. Gary Oldman and Ian Holm as well, and a whole host of others. It is a sci-fi romp in the campest possible way about a universe-ending threat and the solution to said threat. And it's pretty simple, but it is one of the most gorgeous films I've ever seen. Visually, it is absolutely stunning. For 1995, the special effects still hold up. It has a lot of practical effects. It has a lot of kind of early CGI that just seems to fucking work. It's charming. It's stylish. It's a lot of fun. It's infinitely quotable. Chris Tucker's character, Ruby Rod, is amazing. And there's not much more I have to say about it. It's one of those films, if you've seen it, you'll enjoy it. It's probably not as good as Parasite, but I love it for the simple fact is that I think it's the first time I've seen Gary Oldman playing a bad guy. But Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg is just so fucking charming. Like, he is one of those characters that I know you're a cunt. I know you're
pure
a bad
Machiavellian.
Guy, but I love you nonetheless.
Pure Machiavellian. He's just enjoying himself.
Absolutely. He's the campest of camp bad guys. And it's just a film that, when I put it in for this, that I knew it wasn't going to win it. But it's one of those films that I remember from my childhood that just gives me the warm fuzzies. I can watch it endlessly and just enjoy it every time. And I think the best films are the ones that you can just watch over and over again and never get bored of.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Fifth Element. Watch it. Love it.
Good pick.
Adore it.
Excellent pitch. Candy, what are you going for?
I am going to go for Parasite, I'm afraid. Fifth Element is just not one that hit for me. It was too sci-fi. It was too sort of campy and out there for me. And I normally love Gary Oldman as well, and I just didn't get it. It just wasn't my thing. Whereas Parasite, it just came out of nowhere, and it was just absolutely incredible. It's not particularly scary. It's not particularly dramatic, but it's just such an original kind of concept. I think that I absolutely enjoy it. Like, I loved it, and like Oodles said, you don't even notice that you're reading subtitles, and I've actually been enjoying reading subtitled films as well more recently.
I think Parasite helped me with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a couple of minutes to get used to, and then you don't even notice it, do you? Because you're playing it out in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to say too much about the story.
Don't spoil it. I've done really well.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to, but it's incredible. I just love Parasite.
Excellent. Biggie?
Yeah, I'm the same. Fifth Element, didn't really get it. Still... I was all right for Candy, but not for me. Parasite is something else. I actually saw that movie without knowing anything about it, so I just assumed it was going to be sort of some Korean horror movie.
I bet you wanted to run out and go, everybody watch this.
Yeah, you just want to tell everybody about it, and just the dynamics of the family, all the hidden meanings, and then I think it was Doomican on pod originally. Did he mention about all the hidden meanings and the posters?
One of the older hosts did, yeah, they did.
There's lots of stuff that I didn't even pick up on from the marketing as well. And yeah, I just think Fifth Element just isn't aimed for me. And yeah,
which is weird because you're a sexy guy and it's a sexy film.
I want to punch Chris Tucker in the face in that movie.
Off.
I really do. No, you fuck off. I just hate him. He does my head in that movie. And this is why.
Call him a man.
Yeah,
Call him a man. Call him a man.
What I probably should do is actually watch it again and then see if I still feel the same way. But yeah, I didn't get Fifth Element, so it's Parasite for me, I'm afraid.
Right. Well, I'm not going to let you down. Well, I am going to let you down, Gadget, but I'm not going to say that I didn't like Fifth Element, because I do like Fifth Element, because it's a brilliant film.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, honestly, I don't mind losing to Parasite. I know Parasite's an incredible film. It's fine.
But yeah, Parasite is a fucking incredible film. But Fifth Element is great.
Also, stick Parasite on that list of things I need to watch.
What?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yes. It's all right. We'll go through these. We'll make a list.
What the fuck?
But I'm sorry, it's got to be Parasite.
I've been busy, Oodles. I've not had time.
Right. We've got 4 more films in this hat until next round.
Sorry, I'm just getting my breath back.
We have Alien versus Dune.
You're fucked.
Dune, really?
No, June 2021.
No, I know it's not that one. Dune.
Okay.
Fucking Dune.
Just translate it for the West Country people.
So, Alien, Biggie, sell us on the film Alien.
I don't need to. Alien is one of the greatest science fiction horror films ever directed. You wouldn't have Dune if it wasn't for Alien. It's filmed in 1979.
The book that came out first.
The book came out before that film.
It was filmed in 1979. Just remember that. 1979. It was directed by Ridley Scott, written by Dan O'Bannon, based on a story by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. It follows the crew of the commercial space tug Nostromo, who, some reason, touch willies.
What?
Somebody's put a typo in my notes.
All right, Ron Burgundy.
Been out of the room.
Ron Burgundy.
And of course, like Ron Burgundy, you read what's on the autoplay.
Plus,
no, I saw it earlier. I was
Stig is laughing.
I was obviously going to say
Stig is laughing his head off, so we're in. We're in. Look at him.
I can read it. It's not like I'm not going to read it. I can read it.
Someone called 999.
I actually think we have killed Stig.
So much
go on, then Nostromo will touch him with.
Laughing hurts me so much. It's the most I've laughed since I broke my foot. I'm having to hold my laughs in because it's fucking killing me.
I saw it when I came back in the room, and I saw it, and I was just like, okay, someone's done that.
I really hope you hadn't seen it. You just read it out. Oh, man.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
So going back to my original notes.
I hurt so much.
So it follows the crew of the commercial space tug Nostromo, who don't touch willies and encounter the eponymous alien, an aggressive and deadly extraterrestrial set loose on the ship.
You do know that everyone's names have changed as well.
Still in a bad way.
You do know that everyone's names have changed on Zoom as well, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I haven't referred to everyone else that way. You all right?
Carry on, you carry on.
The film stars Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm, and Yaphet Kotto. I mean, just those names there. What a starring cast. It was distributed, obviously, by 20th Century Fox. The artwork by Swiss artist H.R. Geiger, whose concept work was just throughout the movie, particularly obviously with the alien and the surroundings, just incredible. It only features 7 human characters in the story. We've already talked a lot about this movie on this pod, but for me, it is up there as, well, it is my pick of one of the greatest films ever made. Ridley Scott sought to hire strong actors so that he could focus more of his energy on the film's visual style, which is very clear. The fact that if you watch it now, it still stands out. Yes, the computers in there look a bit dated, but it kind of just, it feels right for that movie.
Again, it's the hair, isn't it, that just...
Yeah, the curly hair might give it away, but, well, I don't have hair, so it doesn't matter for me.
You're timeless.
The weird touching's weird.
I think the movie is just timeless for space. The effect of the scare of the alien, which you don't see for the majority of the movie till near the end, so you don't even really know what it looks like. Everybody on board the Nostromo is looked at as like everyday people, so you sort of kind of empathise with the crew on there, like the frustration that they're just trying to get home. They've got to go off and see what's happened with the signal to find out what's happened. It's Dan O'Bannon put his finger on the problem that they had for the story, was how they're going to get the alien onto their ship in an interesting way. And there's a quote here that says, if we could just solve that, it can't just be snuck in. And then all of a sudden it came to his mind, I think I have an idea, let's get the alien to screw one of them. It jumps on his face and plants its seed. And then they went, that's it, we've got the whole movie. And that scene where the hugger jumps out of the egg onto Ian Hurt's face still scares me to this day. It's a very uncomfortable viewing. Huh?
John Hurt's face, not Ian Hurt.
Oh, sorry, yes, John Hurt. It just is really unnerving, particularly when the tail of the hugger curls around his neck.
I think it's sexy.
I just think that alien looks absolutely awful. I just love the thrill of the movie. Sigourney Weaver is fantastic in this. She literally is a representation of women as a hero. I can't believe that it was filmed in 1979, and even now today we still don't. It's taken a long time to have women in cinema that look that strong as characters. They've dripped into movies throughout the years, but really Sigourney Weaver absolutely nailed it in 1979. She was so good in this, considering she's not really done many movies before that. I think the special effects are outstanding because, again, they were practical. There's very little CGI involved in this at all. It was all effects, models, etc. This is Alien. Just one of the greatest movies ever made.
Alien.
Whew. Well, I've recovered now. Just about. So, Gadget, tell us why June 2021 should go through.
So, I mean, Frank Herbert's Dune was released in the 1960s. So, before Alien.
The book.
The book.
Not the movie.
Yeah. Often considered the unfilmable book. Because, well, quite frankly, the book is fucking impenetrable in places. And it's a difficult read. I will fully admit, I adore Dune. I adore all the Dune books. They are not easy to read.
The last one's particularly difficult to read. This
is why audiobooks for Dune are perfect, because
absolutely.
So much easier to just listen to.
Agreed.
The David Lynch film, I'll admit, it set us Dune heads back. It was not a good time in cinema.
It's one of the worst things I've ever watched.
I'm looking at a canvas of Sting right now in place of Oodles.
I think I need to watch this film.
It's so bad. Don't. But Denis Villeneuve is a man I trust immensely with cinema.
Auteur.
He is one of the greatest directors of all time. And to my mind, at this point, hasn't made a bad film. He's made some films that are better than others, but I don't think he's made a bad film. Ridley Scott's made some fucking turkeys.
But we're not here about the other movies. We're just talking about
this is how arguments go. He knows what he...
Gods of Egypt? Fuck
he knows
that.
what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Anyway.
What about what Ridley Scott did to the legacy of Alien?
Well, there is also that as well. Anyway, regardless of that,
Covenant.
I was excited for Denis Villeneuve's take on Dune since it was announced. I was devastated when the pandemic hit, not because the pandemic hit, but because it delayed Dune. I don't care about the rest of the world. I just wanted to see Dune. But it came out. We saw it. And it has immediately jumped probably into my top 10 films of all time.
After Alien.
Alien's around there.
He's not telling you.
Well,
he's not telling you.
So, Dune is... I think the best way to describe it to someone who hasn't seen Dune or read Dune is like, imagine Game of Thrones, but in space.
Perfect.
It's that same kind of quasi-political, intense, very dramatic...
Hard sci-fi.
Sometimes melodramatic, hard sci-fi. But it does things differently that a lot of other sci-fi doesn't do. For instance, there's no fucking computers in this world. In the lore of the Dune universe, there was a war against the machines. They did a full Terminator, beat the machines, and banned machines. Within Denis Villeneuve's film, what he's managed to do is take the best bits of the book, take out the unnecessary bullshit, because there are a lot of plot threads that are completely unnecessary in the book. They managed to take out a lot of the unnecessary bullshit, create a visually arresting and stunning film, managed to satisfy the fans of the book, managed to give Timothée Chalamet something else to do other than looking pretty, because he actually acts in this one, and I'm very happy to see that. Denis Villeneuve somehow manages to convince Oscar Isaacs to grow the most amazing beard.
It's a stunning beard.
It's one of the best beards of all time. They give Josh Brolin another fucking cool role.
Yeah.
He gets Jason Momoa to act. And that doesn't happen very often.
Without a beard.
Without a beard.
He does just play good. Like cool guy.
Yeah.
Though, but...
I mean, Duncan Idaho is just a cool guy anyway.
Yeah.
He's just a cool guy. But regardless, Jason Momoa acts imperfectly. And I think what Denis Villeneuve has managed to do is he's managed to film the unfilmable film. Yeah, that English is properly. Yeah, he films the unfilmable film, and it is spectacular. It is understated. The first time that you see the ornithopters, which are these kind of dragonfly-looking helicopter things, it's incredible, and they're exactly how I imagined them reading the book. The sandworms are huge and enormous and terrifying. The fact that Denis Villeneuve manages to capture the idea of like sand looking like water when the sandworms turn up to get the worm sign right. The soundtrack from Hans Zimmer is spectacular. He like made up instruments. Like there's sounds there that I've never heard before. I think just it's one of those things where no one plays a bad part. Everyone is excellent. And Stellan Skarsgård is incredible as Baron Harkonnen.
He's good in everything.
I mean, he's good in everything, yeah, but he's particularly incredible as the Baron. I just think it's one of the best films I've ever seen. I can't wait for part 2.
It's fucking gross looking.
Yeah, perfectly so. And that's what the Baron should look like. The Baron should be awful. Like, the Baron should be like the person you look at and go, oh, you know?
No one's ever been a good-looking Baron.
No, true. I mean, the Bloody Baron, especially.
Oh, God, no.
But, yeah, it's just... Dune, the new version of Dune, I just think it's straight up there on my top 10 films of all time.
Strong, that. Strong.
Right. Dune is incredible. I watched it again last night. So good. But...
What? No, there's no buts here.
There is a but. Because one person in this room doesn't like it, and one person hasn't seen it. So I think, unfortunately, you might be struggling a little.
I mean, well, this is just rude.
Had it not been a drawn against one of Biggie's films, he might have backed you up. So, Candy, you might as well just say Alien.
I'm afraid so. Dune. Oh, God, what a bore.
I mean, she's wrong. She's wrong.
Come on, then, let's have a fight.
Trust me, she's wrong, Gadget.
She's very
She's
wrong.
wrong.
Might be the most wrong anyone's ever been.
No,
We'll get into that. Don't worry.
I think it's everyone else that's wrong, but even if it weren't Dune, that it was.
I mean,
going
everyone
up
else can
against-
pronounce the name of the film correctly. So.
June. But yeah, no. Even if it wasn't Alien, even if it wasn't Dune that Alien was going against, I really like this film for the reasons you listed. Like Ripley's just such a strong character and such a long time ago, and it's. I don't think we've seen really a proper sort of action woman type character since then. Like there's lots of strong women leads, but not that kind of like brawny takes control kind of character.
You need to watch the Underworld films. I've told you this before.
Yeah, I have, but I don't think even.
Oh, that was a
even
joke.
then she's not. Oh.
Everyone assumed that
the
Dallas
leather-clad
was going to
woman.
be. Everyone assumed that Dallas was going to be like the hero of the movie. It was quite clear.
We mentioned that last
it was
time, didn't we?
designed that way.
Where they
And then-
tricked you.
I mean, quite frankly, Dallas was a shit cap.
Oh, God. He went against all
Yeah,
the rules.
I just like Candy's saying. It's just Sigourney Weaver just absolutely fucking nailed that role.
So, okay, so I'm going to concede the fact that I've lost here, but
How do you know?
well, because Stig and Candy and Biggie,
Ah,
the maths checks out.
Oh.
But I will say, I mean, Alien is my number one film of all time, and June 2021 is my second film of all time. So
I didn't actually decide. It's just that one person hasn't seen it, so he can't really vote for a film he's not seen.
well, either way, the maths is not in my
I have
favour.
to think tactically as well.
You never know. You might get drawn against something that's.
You haven't forgiven me for voting against Metal Gear Solid 3, have you?
I'll never forget that.
Let's not do no tactical voting. That's artistic integrity. Remember. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
just stick
I
Alien
would
3.
have voted Alien. Sorry.
It's fine. If Dune is going to lose against anything, I'm fine for it to lose against Alien 'cause it's my favourite film of all time.
I mean, do I?
I love Dune. I love the Dune film. I watched it again last night. And
Like I say, it bounced straight up into my top 10 of all time at number 2.
my favourite film this year.
Don't
So-
look confused, Candy.
I just don't get it. I just don't.
I like June. I think it's brilliant.
Because I've read the book and it had everything in the book that I wanted it. Everything I wanted it to have was in there.
But as a counterpoint, this is off the record. I'm cutting this out. Pip hasn't read the book and she adored it.
Yeah, I know. So it's not that. Even.
I wouldn't
think
worry
it's
too
you,
much.
not broken.
I think it might. I think it must be because I'm the only one that I know that didn't like.
I wouldn't. I don't even know if I like it or not. I wouldn't worry about it though, because like Alien's got like a 94 Rotten Tomato and June's got like an 80 odd. So you're not on your own.
I mean, the critics are wrong.
Of course they are. I've never seen it, but I know I'm going to love June. I know I am. I'm not daft, but
Last one.
I haven't voted yet.
We're back to the fit. It doesn't matter. The numbers. The numbers mean that Gadget lost.
Wow.
I
And
lost.
you're
Alien
going to
went
vote
forward.
for. You're not going to vote for a film you've not seen, are you?
Well, maybe out of spite now.
Sorry, both me and Candy are out at this point. We can just sit in the corner and get drunk.
So, Back to the Future. We've already heard my pitch. The Thing. Biggie.
Fucking
It's a
hell.
tough one.
Two sci-fi classics.
Bangers.
You. Yeah, the Thing swaps between Alien and the Thing for me is my movie of all time.
You like a monster, don't
Loves a
you?
monster.
I just like great movies.
Touches Willie.
There's something about this movie. It's the 1982 American science fiction horror classic by John Carpenter. American science fiction horror movie released in 1982. The cast is fantastic. It's Kurt Russell playing the helicopter pilot R.J. McCready. It's got Wilfred Brimley, T.K. Carter, David Clennon, Keith David, Richard Dysart, Charles Hallam, Peter Maloney, Richard Mazur, Donald Moffat, and Joe Polish and Thomas G. Waits, all in supporting roles. What I love about this movie is it being set in the Antarctica, the research site. Something goes wrong where a Norwegian pilot is chasing the dog. across the ice, is trying to shoot it. The dog makes it into the camp. As the pilot lands to try and take out the dog, they end up killing the pilot. They've no idea what's going on here, what anything's happening. The paranoia begins right off the bat, and the movie just goes into this incredible isolation of this research center as the thing, parasitic extraterrestrial life form, starts to assimilate members of the team. What's great about this movie is that you never know who is who in this film. Even as Kurt Russell seems to be sort of the standout of the group, even you're not 100% sure who he is. And it's just that paranoia amongst everybody. Nobody trusts anybody. The atmosphere throughout the film is beautifully done. I've seen this movie so many times. It doesn't matter that I know what happens. I know who's who. It doesn't make any difference to me. I can just soak up the atmosphere. The moments through the corridors of the research centre where nobody says anything, it's just the dull sounds of the machinery in the background, or you can hear the howl of the wind outside. It just creates this atmosphere where you just really don't know what is going on, and all the team members are fearful for their life. The special effects, even though they were practical, still look good today. Yes, there may be the odd moment where it doesn't quite look as good as you would today, but I just think the amount of work that went into this movie, and on top of that, the documentary that also is a feature-length movie, shows you how they made that movie behind the scenes. And it's incredibly well done. It's enthralling to hear the stories of what they went through to make this movie. And I think it stands the test of time. It has a brilliant ending, which at one point the studio were going to try and go for the good ending. But in fact, the fact that he left it on this ambiguous, not quite sure who's who at the end of the movie as well, just sealed the deal for me. I think it's a fantastic movie and deserves to be number one.
Good pitch.
Right, well, we've heard my pitch already for Back to the Future. We've heard Biggie's pitch for The Thing. Gadget, let us know what you're
Genuinely in distress at this one because I really like both films.
So am I. Yeah. One of my films is in there.
Yeah. I would say, again, probably because my original opinion was that I preferred Back to the Future 2. I'll probably go with The Thing. The Thing's one of those films, like, I'm not a horror head. I don't particularly like horror films, but I fucking love The Thing. Like, it's a really good film. And it's one of those films where, like, just, like, tension is so high constantly.
The blood scene in particular.
Yeah, the practical effects are just so good. Like, legitimately terrifying monsters in it. The whole Petri dish thing. Fuck me. That fucks me up every single time. And again, like you, Biggie, I've seen it like 1,000 times. Ugh,
the Petri dish is just like...
Yeah, like I've seen it loads of times and it still makes me wince in places. So, yeah, I'll go with The Thing.
Goodbye.
Okay, Oodles?
This is the hardest one for me so far. It's difficult, but... Okay.
Power of love, mate. Power of love.
I think both of these films are what I consider some of my comfort films. I know it sounds ridiculous, The Thing being a comfort film, but it is. I've mentioned it before. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy watching it.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, same thing. Why are you wearing a life jacket?
I agree.
It's not his life. You know what I mean? It's... I have to go with my gut. What film I'd put on now, if I could. I have to say The Thing.
It's fine.
I think I think like The Thing is better than Alien. I always have.
That's
I do,
stretch,
and I like that The Thing is more Hitchcockian. It's more Agatha Christie. It's not. I don't see it as a sci-fi. I know it is. It's got fucking alien in it, but I don't see it as a sci-fi film. Do you know what I mean? I see it as a murder mystery type film. Who done it? Who is it?
Yeah, it is. It is a bit of a whodunit,
and I love that genre. So yeah, fuck it.
I'm not going to complain. I've seen The Thing once.
That boggles my mind.
But I've seen it once, and I think it's up there with one of the greatest films ever.
Yeah,
from one view.
Yeah. I love them both. Back to the Future. Oh my god, it's such a perfect film. But
And excuse the pun, the weird thing about the thing is that it was a failure on release.
yeah,
It didn't do very well, but it's that cult behind it that people saw it on TV, on video.
plus you put Kurt Russell in front of me, and I'm going to watch him for hours.
Well, yeah,
Of course.
Fucking
Yeah.
love Kurt Russell. Love him.
I mean, you're the one person who enjoyed that Santa film.
I know. I loved it.
I didn't mind the first one, Oodles. The second one was shite.
I loved them both. I even like Escape from LA. What is wrong with me?
Nobody likes
Anyway.
Escape from LA. Kurt Russell doesn't like Escape from LA.
Are you going to give me one vote?
Well, it's really hard because there's such different films to compare to each other. I saw Back to the Future throughout my childhood and grew up with it, and I didn't see The Thing till I was older, but the first time I saw it, I was just absolutely horrified by it. And I mean that in an absolutely good way, because it's just, even now, some of the visual effects and everything, it's just, oh God, it makes my
You can't
skin
eat
crawl.
and watch The Thing, can you?
The upside down head spider thing.
That's-
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah,
like-
there it is.
And I say
Same
I
one for
was older when I saw it, but I still definitely wasn't old enough to watch it because it really shit me up.
I first watched it when I was 25. I wasn't old enough to watch it.
When he turns around and says, "You've got to be fucking kidding me," and that head just starts crawling. How the fuck they did that?
That's
back
nowhere
then?
near as
Just-
scary as when he's in the chair behind him going,
Was it Tom Savini that did the special effects for it?
I don't really find the
Fucking psychopath.
monster that terrifying. I find that. Listen, I find the paranoia.
Same. I'm with you, mate.
Everything
I'm with
more
Stig.
terrifying.
None of it scares me. It's
I don't get scared by monsters like shit like that. I get more scared about the fact that the humans turn on each other because they can't trust whether this human is who he's meant to be.
I rarely get scared by monsters, but I think this was one of the ones that actually did get me. But that said, I am going to go with Back to the Future because it's just more nostalgic.
Doesn't
for
matter,
me.
but thank you. Should have gone with you first. It might have swayed Doodles.
it could have done. With them two, any good pitch could have just pulled me back because fuck, they are heavyweight.
So we're down to the semi-finals. I'm going to read through what we've lost. We've lost Back to the Future. We've lost Goodfellas. We've lost June 2021. We've lost The Dark Knight. We've lost Fifth Element. We've lost Hot Fuzz. So we're going to do the last 4.
The Last Crusade.
First one up is The Thing again. And it's going against... Oh, shit, one's popped out there.
Oh, she said.
Let's give it a good squizzle round.
He's really milking this, isn't he?
I am milking it.
He's got powerful
So it's
ones.
popped out and he's really milking it.
I'm locking my door this evening.
Oh, unlucky man.
Alien Biggie.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Hang on.
Whoa.
Hang on.
Oh, it's a biggie
Hang on.
bundle.
It's Jurassic Park versus Alien.
No,
it's Alien
The Thing
versus The Thing.
Alien.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Huh, well, I'm picking The Thing.
Oh, well, there you go. Who doesn't pick The Thing? Should we leave Biggie to the last, or should we let him vote first? I mean, it doesn't. No, if we leave him to the last one vote, then it won't matter,
No.
will it? So, what do you want to do? Do you want us to vote first, or do you want to vote? Gadget. What you've said already.
Yeah, probably The Thing.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Huh?
You said Alien was your favourite film of all
He's
time.
being tactical.
How can you be tactical? Both of these are out.
No, you're right. Sorry, Oodles has confused me. I had in my head that it was Jurassic Park. No. Yeah, this has been... I'm on my 6th Big Moretti bottle. Alien. Yeah.
It is The Thing versus Alien, people.
Yes. Oodles, you're not helping.
We have one vote for The Thing, we have one vote for Alien. I am going to go
Alien.
for... The Thing.
2 for The Thing, 1 for Alien. Fuck.
You've done that on purpose.
Biggie, pick your winner.
Oh, it is literally down to you then, Biggie.
Fuck. Fuck.
I think The Thing is a better film.
Yeah, but they're both incredible.
I
That's the
literally
problem.
wanted to watch both of these.
It's not as
before this
long either.
weekend.
It's nowhere near as long. It's a bit more pacey.
It is. Even with the slow
Yeah.
bits and the thing. But
So welcome to Modern Escapism to Sophie's Choice,
Yeah, which kid do you want to kill?
where Biggie has to choose between his two favourite children. As opposed to his actual child.
it's so hard because they're so good. So
Fine.
fucking good. I love Alien. Alien's so fucking good.
They're both incredible films. But that's where we're at. That is the point of this podcast.
What's left?
No. Don't work like
Doesn't
that.
matter what's
Pick
left.
your favourite
You
between
should
your two
have
children.
paid attention.
I didn't pay attention. I got
You
made
can
fun of.
remember what your own movie was, your favourite.
No, Oodle's confusing.
Oh my god. The Thing.
Wise choice.
Thing. That's it, Alien.
We've
To the
actually
rejected pile.
we've thrown it out of the
This is just
airlock.
like heartbreak throughout.
Yeah, literally out the airlock.
So that leaves the second semi-final as Parasite versus Jurassic Park.
Well, I'll go Jurassic Park because I haven't seen Parasite.
Well, I'll go Jurassic Park.
I'm Parasite.
Parasite. Status Candy.
Come on,
Oh,
Joe.
Candy, it's just down to you then.
Fuck a doodle do.
Well, it's Jurassic Park. Yes, Parasite is good, but what will last longer?
Yeah, Jurassic
longer.
Park.
Yeah, thank you. Jurassic Park.
John Cheetham really is crying now.
It's an incredible film, but this film has lasted the test of time. It's lasted nearly 30 years, and it will last longer.
Also, Jurassic Park took an abortion by Michael Crichton and made it watchable.
I like how you say. I know Jurassic Park should win, but I like how you say it stood the test of time. Parasite's only a few years old. It still exists. It's still a thing. And it hasn't got bad sequels. But
Irrelevant.
it is irrelevant.
Right, that's it. The final.
Yeah.
Biggie's The Thing versus Stig's Jurassic Park. What do Modern Escapism consider the greatest film of all time?
Good
Two
fucking
absolute
God.
bangers. We have one vote for Jurassic Park.
Do you
We have
want
one
a peek
vote
behind
for
the
The
curtain
Thing.
here, guys, as well? These are the two that, in my head, I thought would be in the final. These are the two strongest films, in my
Can you
opinion.
give me the lottery numbers for this weekend?
No.
I'm going to pick Candy first.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Done. Gadget.
You can't even look at me, can you?
Oh. It is a tough choice. Like, I do adore both films, but I think for me, the daft thing is I've watched both these films loads
Same.
of times and like they're infinitely watchable films. Jurassic Park.
Oh, fuck, no way.
There's just, don't get me wrong, I adore The Thing, but I think Jurassic Park inches it because it's like I could show it to my kids. I don't have kids. I have the intention of
You
having
can
kids.
show The Thing to your kids, they're just going to have a different reaction.
Do we need to have a conversation with your wife?
What would you vote at Doodles?
I've already said that Jurassic Park's probably one of the most important films ever made, so Jurassic Park.
You're all wrong.
I love them both.
It's not a
Okay.
disrespect to The Thing. The Thing is excellent.
No, The Thing is amazing.
I think Jurassic
Okay,
Park...
Biggie, what's your thoughts on Jurassic Park?
We've done this on the
generally?
podcast before. I see films as pre-Jurassic Park and post-Jurassic Park. That's one of my
This actually
barometers.
must be what it feels like being in the movie The Thing, where everyone's against me.
I'm not against it.
Oh,
because I love them
you already
both.
said, didn't you? You didn't hit you as much. Maybe because it's an age difference. Not like in a bad... No, that's not a bad thing, but you already said that like we were younger
were
when
kids
we
when we
saw
watched
it,
it.
so maybe that's the thing.
I was terrified by it as a kid.
Yeah, so was I.
I didn't like the Spitter one.
The Thing is an
yes,
amazing film, Biggie. It is, but we have decided.
Look at his fucking face.
I fucking love winning. That's two I've won now.
It's even more annoying because I know how competitive he is and how happy he is that he couldn't care what movie he won. It's just
Mate, the fact that he
won.
picked Jurassic Park, it was irrelevant whatever his other pick would have been, in my opinion. It is the reason I didn't pick Jurassic Park is because I knew someone were going to pick Jurassic Park. I needed to put something else in.
You should have picked Jurassic Park. So
It's fine, I'll
Modern
accept that Crash
Escapism's
Team
greatest
Racing is
film
the
of
better
all
racer.
time has been voted for.
Wrongly.
Okay, so this is Gadget jumping in here because we've all had a bit of a drink here.
I haven't.
And more precisely, Stig is on the gin. And we've established in the past that Stig and spirits don't mix. So in Stig's effort to be helpful towards me, he muted his microphone upon announcing the winner. And we had a full debate on it, and I've had to cut a big chunk of it out. So what happened was...
The thing won.
No, the thing didn't win, Biggie, unfortunately. And much as I'm sad for you, Jurassic Park won. And I will now say, Modern Escapism's best film of all time, of all history, forever and ever, amen, is...
Jurassic Park!
You just did that like Alan Partridge, mate.
Yeah. And Modern Escapism's worst podcaster of all time is Stig!
No, I was trying to be helpful. We're all in the same room. I thought I'd mute the mic so he didn't get all the background noise and have to spend all his time editing me.
Yes,
but I forgot to unmute it when I announced the winner.
So, leading on to this one, we're going to take all responsibility away from Stig, and I'm going to jump straight into the mailbag here to hear what our wonderful audience has said.
A big T-Rex size mailbag.
No, don't you try and bring it back here, Stig. You're in the naughty corner right now.
Gin.
Yeah, so straight away we're going in with Leroy Francisco, who says the greatest film of all time is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's probably the most entertaining film that exists. I've seen it countless times. It nails everything. Looks great, fantastic score, top-tier action, and a top performance by Harrison Ford.
It's my honourable mention.
That's a pretty good film. Alex79UK has said, there's no greatest film of all time, but my personal top 3 are Gangs of New York. It's good. Wouldn't say it's greatest. The Prestige. Yeah, okay, superb. And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Shit.
Someone in the room disagrees.
Pete Beckett has just said Shawshank Redemption.
Great film.
I mean, it's a great film. He hasn't explained why he thinks it's the best film of all time. But
explain why. I clearly stated in our tweet, what is your greatest film and why?
That's the answer.
Futile Exercises said, I'm really struggling to think of one, as there's been a lot of perceived classics I haven't seen. Guess I'll probably go Raiders of the Lost Ark. But I was torn between that and Last Crusade, but decided on the original. Classic romp with good set pieces. I mean, I don't think Last Crusade is ever in a conversation where it's better than Raiders.
No.
Like, Last Crusade is a great film.
Actually, I have heard a lot of people do.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It is my favourite of the trilogy.
A lot of people like the camaraderie between
Dr. Henry Jones and
the late, great, retired
Friend of the show.
Oodles, you need to have a word with your mate Bobby Wayne.
Tried.
He said click with Adam Sandler.
He's doing it to piss me off.
He's doing it to piss us all off, mate, because that film is fucking
It's not even Adam Sandler's best film. And he's done what, 3 good films in his life out of his possible 300 that he's done.
Canada's going to kill you. So actually, a good job you're not here.
Adam Sandler is fucking shite, and he needs to be shot.
Wow. You're only doing that because you're not here to be slapped by Candy.
I'd say it to Adam's face. He'd probably whack me with a hockey stick or something, wouldn't he? Because he thinks he's rock hard. Fuck off. I'll fight Adam Sandler and I've got COVID and I'd still win.
If you get us to the top tier of our Patreon, we will arrange this fight.
Easy. I'll do this Logan Paul shit that they're all doing.
£10 a month, we do celebrity boxing.
Yeah, I will literally box Adam Sandler.
And I just send Oodles to Hollywood to randomly assault celebrities.
I think I'll win and all.
With those big blow-up boxing gloves.
I don't need gloves. I'll do it bare knuckle.
Sergeant Story has come in being entirely wrong by saying Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner.
You hate that film, do you?
I fucking despise it with every fibre of my being.
So
It's not as bad as the next choice.
It is that bad.
It's not.
Why has Robin got an American accent? Why has Will Scarlet got an American accent?
Just why?
Right, why do all the Russians have Yorkshire accents and London accents in The Death of Stalin? It's just a thing. Just a thing, mate.
You know it's true. Everything I do it for you.
I'm going to mute you.
Put him with his logic.
I'm going to fucking
Put him with
cancel you
logic.
so hard. Fuck's sake. Anyway,
It's not as controversial as the next choice.
I mean, Debbie Punk is coming with the correct option, saying Blues Brothers 2000.
What?
Who's going to cancel our Patreon?
Is he taking the piss?
Well, no. Well, the thing is, when we asked this in the Discord, Debbie Punk put a Blues Brothers gif in, but he didn't specify which Blues Brothers.
Oh.
I think it's obvious.
Which obviously
which
means the
Blues
first one.
because one of them's dead and not in the other one.
What?
Also, Blues Brothers is incredible.
Yes, it is.
But not Blues Brothers 2000.
No, that needs to die in a fire.
Kurt Lewin's come in saying, hopefully not too late, but my pick for best film is Whiplash.
Good pick.
Amazing.
I watched it last night, even though I wasn't planning on it, but after the tweet we put out about characters that mean the world to you, one of them is Miles Teller's character in Whiplash.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm no drummer, I could relate to his personality in a lot of ways, both in terms of how shy he is, but also his determination, albeit I've never gone to the lengths he does in the film. I think this connection is partly why I love the film, but also because I love everything about it. The cinematography, the performances of everyone, especially J.K. Simmons, the soundtrack, and my favourite finale to a film. It's also pretty funny in places with some of the quips J.K. Simmons comes out with. It's a drama, comedy, and even a psychological horror at times. My favourite film, and I honestly hope one day it can be eclipsed, but I struggle to think how it could be. Not my tempo.
Perfect.
I've not seen that yet, you know? It's on my watch list.
You
I think it's flawless.
Really, really good. Incredible.
And last up, we have Adam Golightly saying, this is such a hard one to pick. I'm going for Star Wars: A New Hope. I watched it on repeat as a kid growing up, and I could watch it on repeat now. Happy memories of watching it with my friends on VHS, then going to the cinema to see it when they did that remaster many years later. Has all the geeky goodness I needed as a kid and in adult life.
I think Adam got confused. He meant Empire.
The best thing about that is you followed that up with, wait, no, I'm changing my mind. No, I'm not saying Star Wars. Have you seen what you've done to me here? I've narrowed it down to 9 films. I'll stay with Star Wars.
Bless him.
Brilliant.
The original trilogy of Star Wars, that's a special little trilogy, that, isn't it?
I mean, Jedi's a bit rough, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a fun film.
It's still a
but
laugh.
Empire's on my short list.
Yeah,
Definitely
Empire's the absolute pinnacle of that series.
Incredible. Excellent. So thank you everyone that emailed in or messaged in. Now we're going to hit Candy with the socials.
I don't think she'll be able to do it. Look at
She's
the
up for
state
it.
of her.
I'm hanging in there. I'm fine.
All right, Jack Sparrow, crack on.
Candy's going to hit you up with our socials, I think.
Or hit Oodles over the head.
I'm gonna hit
You won't
something.
find me.
You can visit our website, modernescapism.co.uk. On there you can find a link to all of our socials, contact details and merch store. If you have any comments or feedback, or if you'd like to contribute to our heaving sack, you can...
That's a new addition to your spiel.
How much does it cost to contribute to the heaving sack? I've got a spare bit of money.
One negative COVID test.
You know.
Oh, my chest hurts so much.
Your chest hurts.
Yeah.
You've got a
Anyway.
Patreon section to get through next, Stig.
If you have any comments or feedback, or if you'd like to contribute to our heaving sack, you can fill out a form on our website, tweet us, or email us on modernescapism.
Please leave all this in.
It's all statement. It's fine.
Tweet us or email us.
That's not even funny.
Tweet us at
even
Modern
funny.
Escapism. Email us at modernescapismpod@gmail.com. Head over to our website at modernescapism.co.uk.
Yeah.
Thank you. We also have a Discord server if you'd like to join our community of listeners for a chat about the podcast and many other aspects of pop culture and escapism. We have an amazing community of listeners.
It doesn't sound like it. You went.
We love.
Really amazing community.
Discord fuckers.
How good are they? God, they're amazing.
Fuck those.
You do know. You do know. The clever thing would have been to just record this tomorrow. All this, but this is staying in now. This is staying in.
If you enjoy Twitch and want to keep us company while fumbling our way through games, you can find us on twitch.tv/modernescapism. We all have regular streams, and the best way to keep up with them is to either follow our Twitch channel so you know when we're going live, or keep an eye on Twitter. We've already told you about our Patreon, so if you're feeling generous and want to give us a bit of extra support so we can continue to bring you new content, please consider subscribing on patreon.com/modernescapism, and we really do appreciate any contributions. If you want to support us in a non-financial way, leaving us a 5-star review wherever you can really does make a massive difference as well, so please do. Next week, our subject is something for a genre... something you like for a genre... Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Next week, we're doing... something from a genre that you something you like from a genre you dislike.
Oh my God.
Next week we do something about things you don't like. I don't know.
So many Easter eggs. It hurts so much.
Seriously, is it something from a genre?
Something you like from a genre that you don't.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, Dad.
Oh, fuck, mate.
Next week's subject is something you like from a genre you don't like.
It just ends.
That's what I've been told off.
Oh, John, you don't like. Just ends.
I did it.
You guys are fucked.
I'm fine.
And thank you very much for listening, and for everyone who wrote in. We hope that you liked our debates on the greatest film of all time, and that you agree with Jurassic Park, because it is clearly the rightful winner.
It's all right, Biggie. You might win on crisps.
I always win on crisps.
Oh, fuck me.
This week's episode of Modern Escapism brought to you by alcohol.
Right, I'll finish. Fight through the pain.
Woosah.
Thank you very much.
Do you know what I've just realised as well? This is the first time I've seen all of your ears.
I've got little ones. That's Easter egg. That's Easter egg right there.
Surprised to learn you actually have them.